So I found an article from 2014 that said he retired, but I guess he came back.
We're going to avoid that then.
But like I say, he's listed on the website as their coach, and it seems current.
That's not current.
Oh no, that's my fault, man. I forgot to change that. They are 4-4 and 4-1.
Stand by. A beautiful good evening as we welcome you to Rodney Eubanks Stadium here on the campus of Brighton High School. Andy Manus and Chad Gatlin here with you tonight to bring you this rivalry matchup between the Brighton Cardinals and the Southwind Jaguars. Chad, the weather is finally starting to feel like football weather. You know, it's hot during the daytime, but when the sun sets, it starts to get that chill. And I think you can really feel that in the environment here tonight.
Absolutely. That crisp air where you just need a jacket. You may see a little steam off the players as the game goes on. The pop of the pads is a little bit more crisp in this kind of weather. It's just great time for football.
Absolutely. Looking at these two teams tonight, Brighton, of course, the home team, record of 4-4 on the year. They're 4-1 in district play.
Rough start to the year for Brighton. We saw them also take a hard loss to Covington, a rival down the road, but they've gotten it together in district, and they've gone 4-1. Their only loss in district coming to Ridgeway, and they've got a showdown against Munford last week. Right now in Region 8-5A that both of these teams are from, there are 4 teams with only one loss. 2 of them are here tonight, Brighton and Southwind. The other 2 are Ridgeway and Munford. Ridgeway currently holds the edge because they have wins over Brighton and Munford. They face Southwind next week in the last game of the year. But this is a big game because if Brighton loses both these games, tonight and Munford next week, they could end up not being in the playoffs. If Brighton wins both these games, Andy, they could end up being region champions. There's a long way to go one way or the other with the performance, and it starts here tonight.
Well, and it's kind of crazy to think about, like you just mentioned, how they started their year, what a long way that they've come from the beginning. And, you know, we talked about this before we went on air, the fact that they've kind of made the change at the quarterback position. They've switched over to Nick Johnson, whereas earlier in the year when we saw him on Tubetown, they had Malik Jackson. And obviously they had a center go out that game. There was some trouble getting the ball to Malik Jackson, but
right.
It seems the chemistry is really there with Nick Johnson and this Cardinal football team.
Yeah, absolutely, and we got to see a little bit of Nick Johnson in the last game toward the end of the game. There were a lot of snap problems between Malik Jackson and the center in that game. We got to see Nick Johnson toward the end. He didn't look bad. Malik Jackson ended up getting hurt. That gave Nick Johnson an opportunity to start a game. The coach liked what he saw, and so he started ever since.
And looking at the other side of the field at the Southwind Jaguars, they come into tonight's game with a record of 6-2. They too are 4-1 in district play.
That's right, tied for that top spot. Like I said, Ridgeway holds the edge right now, but Southwind controls their own destiny. They play Brighton tonight, and Ridgeway, their only loss coming to Munford. They have to win out, and then they have to hope for a Munford loss for a region championship. Southwind in that same position everybody else is, though. Can't take 2 losses in a row, or Kirby may sneak into the playoffs and leave them out.
Of course, one of the key players to look out for tonight for the Southwind Jaguars, their big defensive end, Jordan Davis. He's a senior, standing in at 6'5", 225, and has already committed to the University of Alabama.
Yeah, he's a 4-star recruit, according to 247 composite ratings. Like you said, already committed to Nick Saban's team in Alabama, which just tells you what kind of talent that guy has on the end. And he's been a monster for them On Brighton's side, you got to watch Lance West. He's been consistent all year. Some of their other stars, Aaron Alston, Malik Jackson, have had up and down years, but Lance West has been consistent all year carrying the ball for the Cardinals.
Of course, got to see a little bit of Aaron Alston earlier this year here on Tubetown, but had a very quiet night because, once again, the Cardinals just had a really hard time getting things going for Malik Jackson. Didn't have a whole lot of time to stand in there and throw. Connected with Alston on a couple of short routes, but short of that, didn't really see much of him that night. Hopefully we'll see a little bit more out of the 6'3 senior from Brighton here tonight.
Absolutely.
Both teams out on the field.
Alston on the year, 37 catches for 556 yards and 7 touchdowns. So he's definitely going to be a player to keep an eye on. He gets this offense going.
And Brighton will start with the football tonight. And Southwind getting ready to kick this one away. And tonight's game is underway. A short kick bouncing at the 25-yard line will be fielded off of a bounce. A cut to the far sideline now with a little bit of running room down the 45-yard line. And some excellent starting position for the Brighton Cardinals. And, hey, look who it is on the return there, Aaron Alston, to set things up for the Cardinals.
Absolutely, Aaron Alston. They kicked it short to try to prevent a run back and still ended up giving position at the 46. And so that's where Brighton's offense will get started. And it looks like Malik Jackson's in.
So going to change things up here a little bit. Put the 5'8 senior quarterback in. 4 wide receiver look for Jackson as he steps back to throw. A flag is thrown, however. Whistle will stop that one dead, and it looks like it's going to be false start here.
And so we'll just reset and do this first play over again. Not a great way to get started. You don't want to start with a penalty. But I guess if you've got any pre-game jitters, then you just get them out right now.
Cardinals going to stick with the 4 wide out look, rather. Lance West in the backfield behind Jackson, and I think he might have got him off sides. It's a handoff to Jackson running between the right guard and tackle down on the far side. Hash marks. Going to get down near the original line of scrimmage, so a pickup of close to 5 yards, but I don't see a flag down on the field, so it looks like they might have missed that offsides call.
Lance West, the workhorse for this team, like I said, consistent. They hand it off to him. He gets a quick 5.
Southwind looking like they're going to bring 5 rushers. Well, the safety starts to creep in now from the top. Jackson stepping back. Now he'll step up in the pocket. Thought he was going to get away from that sack, but he couldn't. Got tripped up by his shoestrings, downed in the backfield, and now it's 3rd and long for the Brighton Cardinals.
Yeah, lost about 8 yards on that one there. Jackson not able to get away from the shoestring tackle. He's usually a little more mobile, but I think he was looking to throw and just couldn't get his receiver open.
Trying to step up in the pocket. I think that might have been the aforementioned Jordan Davis reaching his big hand in there and bringing down Jackson. And again, 3rd and long coming up here. 12 seconds left on the play clock. 4 wide receiver look. Jackson looking to throw. It's a screen set up, and it was caught, but not by the intended receiver, Lance West. Went over his head, and I think we're going to get a call here for ineligible receiver downfield.
Well, also there was a flag before that looked like it may have been a holding call on Brighton, so I think that one was going to come back anyway. They've actually called a call against Southwind here for – I'm not sure.
I never saw him give a signal.
It was some sort of it looked like the signal for chop block, but you don't see those on defense. It's a personal foul, clearly. Personal foul.
And it is a chop block.
Very odd to see that called on a defense. Nonetheless, gives Brighton 15 yards and a new set of downs.
Yeah, that will reset the chains for the Cardinals and move them into enemy territory, now into Southwind's side of the field at the 41-yard line. 2 tight end look, a handoff to West. West up the middle. He fumbled the football, and Southwind has got it right into the hands of big 93 Tacola Moore. And Moore, one of the captains for tonight's football game, he got himself an early Christmas present here with 10:10 left to play in the first quarter.
Absolutely. Lance West just not sure-handed enough there. Couldn't get through the line and hang on to the ball at the same time. He had 5 yards on the game, but just couldn't hang on to the ball.
So Southwind will come out on offense for the first time tonight. We'll get a look at the Jaguars. Looks like they're going to set up with a 3 wide receiver look, 2 backs in the backfield. Send a man in motion, fake the sweep. It's a handoff up the middle, a spin move across the 50, a lot of running room down the near sideline. Going to be a foot race to the finish. Jaguars might win this one, and it's going to be a touchdown. Their second play of the game, Dontario Smith taking it about 60 yards.
For the touchdown, Dontario Smith, number 2 for Southwind, just found a seam and then turned the jets on, and nobody from Brighton was going to catch him. 61 yards on the touchdown sprint.
I said they ran 2 plays. It only took them 1.
First play from scrimmage is a touchdown for Southwind.
Look at the replay here as they set up for the extra point. They fake the sweep, they hand off to Smith up the middle, and with that spin move, a little tap of the B button there, he's off to the races, and the extra point is no good, so Southwind will lead this one 6-0 with 9:59 remaining in the first quarter. Brighton trailing early.
Brighton is going to, if they want a chance, if they don't want to lose momentum in this game and have it end up being lopsided at the end, they need to answer right here with, if not a touchdown, a positive drive.
1 play, 65 yards, and a score for the senior tailback, Dontario Smith. And now the Jaguars will come back out to kick off, and we'll give the Cardinals another opportunity.
It'll be interesting to see if the Jags kick another short kick like they did before. It didn't work out in their favor. We'll see. Maybe they'll kick it deep this time and see what they can do. You've got Alston and West back to receive. There's no good option to kick to.
And Alston and West have moved up to about the 25-yard line, so they're playing for a short kick here. There's the kick. It'll go over Alston's head. He's got a back pedal. He'll catch it inside the 15-yard line. Now he'll start to head upfield down the far sideline, 25. And knocked out of bounds somewhere in that vicinity.
And yeah, just Alston having to turn all the way around and catch it backwards and then turn back around. I think I would have let that one go and maybe even got it out of bounds and gotten the flag and out to the 35, but not a bad run back by any stretch of the imagination.
He plays it nonetheless. They're setting up at the 27-yard line. Again, trailing 6-0 if you're just joining us. 3 wide receivers set. It's a handoff to West. West with a full head of steam will lower his shoulder and run between the tackle and guard on the far side. Hash marks and pick up about 3 yards. 2nd and 7 coming up. Well, we know that Brighton likes to mix up their play calling just a little bit. A pretty even showing of run and pass.
Yeah, absolutely. They have weapons in both aspects of the game. Alston, of course, another Division I prospect on this Brighton team, and he's out there to receive. Looks like they'll throw to him right now.
Yeah, threw to him on a little out route there. Caught at the 35, taken down to the 40-yard line. Got enough to move the chains for a Cardinal first down. And our first look at Aaron Alston at the receiver position. And, boy, he hauls it in and takes it upfield in a hurry. And he's hard to cover with the 6'3" frame. And we're going to get a timeout here with 9:08 remaining in the first quarter. Southwind taking their first of the first half. They've got 2 remaining. They also have the lead 6-0 over the Brighton Cardinals.
Introducing Ritter Home Security. Ritter takes care of protecting what's most important to you, from threats like unwelcome visitors and fire, to making your life easier by putting the control of your home at your fingertips. Use the free app to shut the garage, lock the door, turn off lights, arm the system, and more. You can even turn back the thermostat to help save money on your energy bill. Plus, get a snapshot when your kids get home. It's smart, beautiful, convenient, and ready for your busy life. Ritter Home Security.
Andy Manis and Chad Gatlin back here with you at Brighton High School. Cardinals with the football right now, 1st and 10 from their own 40-yard line. Southwind using their first timeout of the first half. Jaguars bring a blitz here on 1st down, and they're going to stop the run.
Wow, and just a handoff up the middle, trying to get some other players involved here. James Carson on the wide receiver run can get nothing going.
And the right side linebacker blitzed on that play, timed it perfectly, and was able to clog up the lanes that the offensive linemen were trying to create. Now 2nd and 10 coming up, and a three wide receiver look for Jackson. Alston lined up in the slot, but they'll hand it off to West. West breaks one off into the 2nd level, and he's across the 40-yard line of the Jaguars, down to about the 38.
And what a nifty little run here from Lance West. About 21 yards, on the carry there for West. And you see what he's able to do right here. When he gets a seam, he doesn't stop.
1st and 10 inside Jaguar territory. Low snap, Jackson fields it, now scrambling with it. Takes a shot downfield for Alston. Alston goes up and catches it at the 20-yard line.
What a catch by Alston. Thrown behind and high, and Alston still comes back and catches it and gets the 20-yard reception there.
Nice pickup through the air that time by the Cardinals, and again, Alston showing why he's such a valuable target. He'll line up again in the slot, West in the backfield. One blocker out ahead of Jackson. Blocker goes in motion. Hand off to West, running to the left. Tripped up at the line of scrimmage, but he'll fly forward for a gain of a couple of yards. It'll be 2nd and 8 with 7:50 remaining here in the first quarter.
And for Southwind there, I lost 34, I believe it was Lou Lamassie in on that hit, disrupting the play from the beginning.
Again, another handoff to West. He spins his way up the middle. He'll pick up another 2 to 3 yards. It should be 3rd and short coming up here for Brighton. They're now nearing that 10-yard line.
And Andy, Brighton has a kicker that can hit a field goal from this distance, so they may take a shot here to see if they can just get on the board with the passing game and force that defensive line of Southwind to back off a little bit with the linebacker.
Yeah, Alston's lined up in the slot, but they'll hand it off to West. West making his way up the middle. Will work his way to the outside numbers and to the 6-yard line. They'll move the chains. It'll be 1st and goal for Brighton with 6:54 left to play in the first.
It's about a 4-yard gain there for West, just chugging it out, but the most important thing is 1st and goal now.
Alston again lined up in the slot on the right side. Jackson standing to the left, one blocker ahead. Jackson will hand it off to West. He follows his blocker, and he's into the end zone. All too easy that time for Lance West, and he ties this one up with 6:41 left to play in the first.
Lance just follows him in all the way. Number 40, Zachary Dickinson, has the lane for him, and he stays right behind him. No need to make a cut, right into the end zone. One thing Brighton's not doing, Andy, is running the.
I think he kicked that right into the offensive line. Well, 6:41 remaining here in the first quarter. Hold on to that thought, Chad. We'll step aside. 6-6 is your score. Brighton knots it up.
My late friend James Gandolfini and I got to know a lot of combat vets over the years when we were in Iraq and in Afghanistan. And it guts me to know that 22 of you are taking your own lives every day. Yeah, I play tough guys in the movies, but yous are the real tough guys. And the toughest thing to do sometimes is look for help. I want you to know, reaching out is an act of strength. And our friends at Wonder Warrior Project are here to help. You don't have to go it alone.
Andy Maness, Chad Gatlin, welcome you back to Brighton High School. The Cardinals knotting things up with 6:41 left to play in the first quarter. A 6-yard touchdown rush from Lance West. And again, your score 6-6 as the Cardinals get ready to kick off. Kick will be fielded just outside the 10-yard line, and a lot of room for advancing. Right up the middle of the field is the return man, brought down right at the 50-yard line. And do not have that player on our roster, so can't give him any credit. Number 5 on the return there.
Nonetheless, great starting position for the Jaguars here.
Now Brighton was able to take about 3.5 minutes off of the clock here in the first quarter. Of course, go back to Southwind's first drive of the night. Only took on one play, 65 yards for Ontario Smith to take in a touchdown.
Looks like Corterius Wilson at quarterback here is going to go deep.
Caught inside the 20-yard line, and with the defender draped all over him, Jalen Alexander comes up with a spectacular catch. Brought down from behind by a shoulder pad, and take another look at the replay. The defender had his hands all over him, and somehow Alexander still lets it fall right in the breadbasket. And just like that, one play again for the Jaguars. They're down inside the red zone.
61 yards on their first play, 35 yards on their second play. Just incredible.
Yeah, the Jaguar offense off to a spectacular start. Corterius Wilson, as Chad mentioned, in at quarterback. And off running to the right. Tried to avoid the rushing defender, but Jeffrey Williams couldn't find any room to move around there in the backfield.
Tackle there on the play, number 48, who I don't have on my roster. So we'll just say number 48 from Brighton with the tackle.
2nd and 15 coming up. Wilson looking to throw, takes a shot towards the end zone, just a little too much underneath that one, and it's now 3rd and 14. Brighton happy that they've now held this Jaguar team to a 3rd down.
Big 3rd down for Brighton here if they can hold them to 4th down. I don't think they'll force them to kick, but they're going to force them to make a decision.
It looks like they got to get close to about the 7-yard line. Low snap, Wilson fields it. He's flushed out of the pocket, running to the near side, tossed to the 20-yard line, incomplete, looking to hook up with Ontario Smith. Threw it a bit too far out towards the middle of the field as Smith was running to the sideline. And
he had Smith. He just threw the ball behind him. Had he thrown the ball out in front of Smith, Smith had it and could have turned the corner and got some extra yards out of it.
4th and 14 coming up for the Jaguars. Stops the clock with 5:43 to play in the first quarter. And the Jaguars got 14 yards to go. Got to get down inside the 10-yard line. 3 wide receiver look, 2 blockers ahead for Wilson. Tosses one into the end zone with one hand, reeled in between 2 defenders. Are you kidding me, Jalen Alexander?
Wow, 4th and 10. And this Southwind team comes up against the nickel package of Brighton with a big touchdown through the air.
Take another look at your Rob Taylor State Farm replay. What a catch in traffic by Alexander for the score.
A great catch.
19-yard touchdown pass from Wilson to Alexander.
And now he's 2 for 3 on the night for 54 yards already.
Jaguars going to go for 2, keeping their offense out on the field. 2 backs in the backfield, 1 receiver goes in motion. They hand it off on the sweep, and they'll slip and fall right at the 5-yard line. And that is our unnamed number 5. 5:37 left to play in the first quarter. Southwind back on top now, 12-6 here on the Rivalry, or Tubetown Rivalry Series.
Until you've seen how fast it really is, some people's reaction to Ritter's 100 megabit internet might be like, 100 mega, huh? Here's how we describe it. Mega beautiful, mega fast, mega blast, mega party, mega Ritter. There's no end to your online possibilities with up to 100 meg internet speeds. In a word, that means mega fun. If you're not getting your high-speed internet from Ritter, you should. Call 888-336-4466 today. Only from Ritter Communications, right by you.
Back here at Brighton High School, 5:37 left to play in the first quarter. Southwind taking the lead via a 19-yard touchdown pass from Corterius Wilson to Jalen Alexander. 12-6 now your score, and Brighton getting ready to receive this kickoff. It's straight to Alston just inside the 20-yard line. Cutting back to the near side hash marks. Now the near side 30, 35, 40, 45, 50. Cuts back to the middle of the field, still on his feet. Knocked down from behind at the 40-yard line, and another excellent return from Aaron Alston, setting up the Cardinals in enemy territory. 1st and 10 from the Jaguar 38-yard line. Take another look at this run from Aaron Alston.
Alston sees West out in front. He wants to catch that block, but instead he just sheds the tackle and moves on. West catches another block downfield. He's able to sort of pause and let another guy get him some more space, and then gets out there to the 40. What a run back, and now Brighton's back in business.
Alston lined up on the near side, play action, it's a screen. Tried to toss it out to the 40-yard line, and
not well set up there.
Didn't really lay their blocks down the way that they wanted to. Now 2nd and 10 coming up. For a screen to be executed the right way, you definitely have to hit your blocks. Tyler Burnett, the intended receiver that time. Handoff for West. West with a lot of running room down the near sideline numbers. Sheds 1 defender and is able to backpedal for another couple of yards, and I think he's got the first down.
And they are moving the chains. It looked close for a moment there, but
watch him shed this defender right there, trying to strip the football, and West was just able to hold on to it that time. Gave up the fumble on Brighton's opening drive of tonight's football game, but wasn't giving it up there.
And sometimes that's the disease of defenders. Trying to get the strip, they don't make a good form tackle.
1st and 10 inside the 30-yard line. Another handoff to West. West bounces off his blocker, cuts it out to the outside, across the 20, inside the 15-yard line before he's knocked out of bounds by the Jaguar defender. And another nice gain on the ground from Lance West. Moving the chains once again. 1st and 10 Cardinals inside the red zone.
And that looked like it was about an 11-yard gain there from West.
Alston is lined up in the slot on the far side. Again, a handoff to West. This time the Jaguar defense able to get through the line to Cola Moore, who had that fumble recovery and return earlier.
Lance West not able to make the bounce that time. They broke through the line. Before, he ran into a brick wall and was just able to pop back outside and make something happen.
Yeah, Tacola Moore listed at 6'2", 220. I think a brick wall is a good description. Jaguars showing blitz. They do. They blitz from the near side. Jackson with plenty of time to throw, and a wide open Aaron Alston in the end zone for a touchdown. Alston got free, and that's 6 more points for the Cardinals. They've tied it up again with 4:15 left to play.
Alston breaks free of the defender here on the fade route. Jackson just sees him. He's wide open.
Little double move there, and the defender never anticipated that second move.
Alston's such a good route runner. Not only his height plays to his advantage.
This extra point is up and good, and now the Cardinals have tied it twice. Now they've taken the lead 13-12 with 4:15 remaining in the first quarter.
Introducing Ritter's new whole home DVR solution, the better way to watch TV. Record up to 6 of your favorite programs at the same time and watch them in up to 5 different rooms throughout your home. Manage your recordings, set parental controls, and more from your smartphone or tablet from the free Follow Me TV app. The best part, equipment starts at only $25 per month when added to an existing TV package. We just revolutionized the way you watch TV. Ritter Communications, right by you.
Andy Manus, Chad Gatlin back here with you at Brighton, where the Cardinals have just taken a 1-point lead, 13-12 over the Southwind Jaguars. A 13-yard touchdown pass from Malik Jackson to Aaron Alston, and the extra point makes it 13. And again, a 1-point lead for the Cardinals over the Jaguars. Brighton getting ready to kick this one away. Another nice kick for the Cardinals, backpedaling, caught at the 5-yard line. Ontario Smith cuts it to the outside hash marks. Makes his way across the 40-yard line down near the 45. I think they'll spot him right around the Jaguar 43. And again, we'll take a look at Corterius Wilson. He was able to throw a touchdown pass to Jalen Alexander the last time out on the field.
Last drive for Southwind, 58 seconds and 55 yards. The last drive for Brighton, 71 seconds and 40 yards. They're coming fast here in this first quarter, Andy.
They are. We might run out of ink. 4:06, run to the left. Nice blocking along the outside edge. And knocked out of bounds. Good run that time from Jeffrey Williams.
Williams got a nice little 22-yard sprint from him. Catches one block on the outside and is able to get gone.
That's what I was going to say. He definitely had the edge sealed for him there by his left tackle. Now let's see what they do here on 1st and 10 from the 41-yard line. Another handoff to Williams. He's tripped up but still able to maintain balance long enough to get a first down. So again, the Jaguars move the chains, 2 consecutive plays in a row, and they are not having any problem with this Cardinal defense so far here tonight.
They're focusing on that left side of the line. They feel like they've found something there that'll work. And I don't know if it's their lineman or if it's Brighton's lineman, but they're opening up holes.
Dontario Smith in the backfield, 4 wide receivers set for Wilson. He'll hand it off to Smith. Smith up the middle, across the 25, down to the 20, the 15-yard line, knocked out of bounds. 3 runs, 3 first downs for the Jaguars. Now inside the red zone, it looks like they'll spot them right at the 15 with 3:32 left to play in the first.
Yeah, and that's just
looks like we got maybe a flag down on the far side of the field.
We'll see what this flag is. They're wearing out that left side. And it's going to be another chop block.
Yeah, don't see that call very often. We've seen it twice here tonight. 3:32 left to play in the first, and now 1st and goal for the Jaguars. Smith is in the backfield. They're in the I formation, or pistol rather, with 4 wide receivers. Now they'll switch to the shotgun here. Smith will step up to the hip of Wilson. Play action, a little bubble screen, and incomplete.
Boy, it sure looked like they had a hand on that one. Robert Curry put his arms underneath it. But
it looked like that was pretty close to an interception.
It must have hit the turf. Good play, though. Good defensive play by Robert Curry out there on the edge. Southwind likes that left side.
Those bubble screens are hard to defend, especially if you're not ready for them. And Southwind calling an audible there. She said good job by the Cardinals defense stopping that one. Now 2nd and goal from the 6-yard line. Low snap, fade route to the end zone. Over the head of Alexander, but a flag thrown right behind the defender to Robert Curry. We just got through singing his praises, and
he had his hands all over him.
Sure did. They were trying to find Jalen Alexander in the end zone again.
And it's just you have to turn your head around and get an eye on the ball, or they're going to call it every time. You make contact without looking at the ball, it's going to be PI.
So now inside the 5-yard line at about the 4.5. 2nd and goal coming up again. Wide receiver goes in motion. They fake the sweep, hand it off to Williams, and Williams runs it right up the gut for a touchdown. 3:05 left to play here in the first quarter, and we've got a seesaw battle. Points are not coming at a premium tonight. They're basically giving them away out there.
That one is right up the gut at Brighton. Big time block there by number 75 for Southwind. Number 75, Christian Williams. Might have gotten away with a little hold, but if you don't get away with a little hold, you're not doing your job on the offensive line.
Wilson looking to throw here on the 2-point conversion. Jumping and catching for the 2-point conversion is Trey Davis. And now Southwind leads this one 20-13 with 3:05 left to play here in the first quarter. We'll send it to break with this replay.
From Iraq and Afghanistan, our brave warriors are coming home, wounded. Some with wounds you can see, some with wounds you can't see. Wounded Warrior Project was created to support our men and women coming off the battlefield. Please help carry these warriors the rest of the way home. Get involved at woundedwarriorproject.org.
Andy Manus, Chad Gatlin back here with you in Brighton, where the scoreboard is lighting up. Still in the first quarter, 3:05 remaining. Your score's 20-13. Southwind now leading the Brighton Cardinals after a 5-yard touchdown rush from Jeffrey Williams, a sophomore Jaguar. They would get the 2-point conversion. And now a little short onside kick attempt here.
That boggles the mind. Why would they do that?
Just trying to catch Brighton off guard there. I love your skepticism.
Well, it didn't look like the reason I said it like that is it didn't look like an onside. And why would you give Brighton this kind of field position? It's one thing for them to earn it through a kickoff return, but you give Brighton this kind of field position, they haven't failed to score on any drive except the first one.
You make a very good point. Again, these teams are scoring very quickly here tonight. Southwind bringing pressure here on first down. West able to find a gap up the middle. He's across the 40-yard line, sheds one defender as he crosses the 30, and he is down to the 28. One heck of a run for Lance West. He's already got one touchdown on the night, and he is putting the Cardinals in pretty good field position, maybe on their way to another one. Just shed the defender and then high-stepped over him. 1st and 10 now from the 30-yard line. Jackson rolling out to his left, looking to throw. He's got Alston at the 25. Alston taken down at about the 24. And how about that? 2 plays, and they're already right at the 20-yard line of the Jaguars. As Chad mentioned, maybe a questionable call going for an onside kick here by the Jaguars, but we'll see how this drive turns out for the Cardinals. They may make them pay for it. 2:20 left to play in the first. Jackson's got the play now. 3 wide receivers set. West in the backfield, 1 blocker ahead. They'll hand off to West, straight up the gut. He's down near the first down marker, Chad, but I'm not sure he got it. It could be 3rd and short coming up.
I think he came up about a yard short there. It's about a 3-yard gain for West. One thing you'll notice about Brighton is they're avoiding the edges. They don't want any of Jordan Davis on that edge. and they're trying to avoid him at all costs and just run the ball right up the middle.
Another handoff to West, running to the left. He's able to slightly shed 2 tackles in the backfield. They're able to slow him up enough to get some help from one of the other defenders, but credit Demarion Houston, one of the Jaguars in there, getting a hand on West. And now that's going to bring up, well, no.
He got the first
They're
down.
not going to measure. They're going to go ahead and move the chains.
The referee eyeballed it and called it. I saw him walk over and eyeball it from the hash mark.
Had a lot of that in Tennessee this year here on Tubetown. 1st and 10 now inside the 20-yard line. Cardinals in the red zone. 3 wide receiver look for Jackson, and now they'll possibly change the play here from the sideline. West will switch sides from left to right. Ball is snapped with 10 seconds left on the play clock. Jackson flushed out of the pocket, and he's going to be slung down from behind. He just continued to backpedal, and that is going to be a loss of nearly 20 yards.
It is. That was bad decision making. Jackson thinks about throwing it away. If you watch, he backs up right here. Now he thinks about throwing it away right here, and that's what he should have done. Instead, he doesn't think he can get it off, and he should have tried to dive forward. Instead, takes the sack and loses 19 yards on that.
Got swallowed up by Christian Williams alongside Jordan Davis. And now under 30 seconds left. 2nd and about a mile. Jackson looking to go deep. Austin in double coverage. Austin nearly with an Odell Beckham reel in. And
between 2 defenders, he went up stopping and got a hand on it. And
full extension as well, and he nearly hauled that one in.
It was really a bad decision by Malik Jackson to throw the ball to him, but still, Aaron Austin nearly bringing that one in with one hand. We haven't seen the running ability put on display of Malik Jackson yet tonight. The only rush he has is that last sack for a 19-yard loss.
3rd and long, screen play coming up. West has got it at the 35, the 30. Dodges one defender, the 25-20. And now down to the 15-yard line. Lance West will make up a lot of ground there on 3rd down. It'll bring up 4th and about 6. Excellent screen pass as you take a look at the Rob Taylor State Farm replay. West catches it, runs behind his blockers, and able to shed 1 defender and bring it down to the 15-yard line. And now that will also signal the end of the first quarter. What a long first quarter we have had here tonight in Brighton. And a lot of scoring going on between the Cardinals and the Jaguars. 20-13 is your score. Southwind leading Brighton. We're back with the second quarter of action right after this.
The Susan G. Komen Race for the Cure. So much more than just the color pink. It's the color of hope, of health, of friendship, of love, and it's the color of heroes. When you raise more than $100, you can wear this cape with pride. The Susan G. Komen Race for the Cure, Saturday, October 14th. Register now at KomenArkansas.org.
Welcome back to Brighton. Andy Maness and Chad Gatlin here with you tonight, ready to start the second quarter of action if you're just joining us. What a first quarter we had between the Cardinals and the Jaguars. 20-13 is your score to start the second quarter. And again, the scoreboard just lighting up there in the first. 4th and 6 coming up for the Cardinals. Inside the 20-yard line. Play action, Jackson looking to throw. Tosses it over to the far sideline. A tiptoe catch falling out of bounds.
And it's West.
They're going to say it's complete, and that's Lance West over there.
West with another reception there and another pass from Malik Jackson. Malik Jackson now 6 for 8 on the night.
Good throw, good route, and excellent awareness by West to know he was right there on the sideline. Great catch.
First and goal here, and as I said, we haven't seen the design run out of Malik Jackson yet, so I would watch out for that here in the red zone. Maybe a design run, maybe an option play. Put Malik Jackson's legs into play.
Yeah, Alston's lined up here on the right side, and Chad Gatlin, you called it, sir. Malik Jackson with a run up the middle on the keeper, and now the Cardinals are an extra point away from tying this one up in the second quarter.
A 9-yard sprint, Malik Jackson fakes the handoff to West, keeps it for himself. Right up the middle, little quarterback draw.
Out to attempt the extra point. It's up, and it's no – oh, no, it is good. Sorry, a little difficult to see from here. Right through the uprights, and we've got ourselves a tie ball game once again. 11:38 left to play here in the first half. Your score 20-20 after that Malik Jackson touchdown run.
Introducing Ritter Home Security. Ritter takes care of protecting what's most important to you, from threats like unwelcome visitors and fire, to making your life easier by putting the control of your home at your fingertips. Use the free app to shut the garage, lock the door, turn off lights, arm the system, and more. You can even turn back the thermostat to help save money on your energy bill. Plus, get a snapshot when your kids get home. It's smart, beautiful, convenient, and ready for your busy life. Ritter Home Security.
Back here at Brighton, we've got a tie ball game in the second quarter. 11:38 left to play in the first half. Andy Manus and Chad Gatlin here with you. And the Cardinals are getting ready for the ensuing kickoff after a 9-yard touchdown rush from Malik Jackson.
Malik Jackson now has a touchdown through the air and a touchdown on the ground. Big game for him tonight after he had not started at quarterback the last couple of games for Brighton.
Yeah, big motivation boost for him, and now an onside kick attempt from the Cardinals. And Jaguars tried one, didn't get it. Now the Cardinals try one, and they give the ball back to the Jaguars right at midfield.
And that was a traditional onside kick, more in the vein of what you normally see. I'm not 100% sure that Southwind was trying for the onside. I don't know if it was a bad kick or they wanted to squib it a little further, but I'm not sure it was an onside try from Southwind on purpose. Both teams failing to recover, though.
Yeah, Edgerrin Whitmore, the Jaguar, to run and scoop that one up, and now they start from their own 43-yard line for the first time here in the second quarter. 4 wide receivers set for Wilson. He fields a low snap and just rears back and chunks this one down the field.
Wilson.
Well, he knew where he was going with that one from the get-go.
It either slipped or Wilson just didn't have the arm for that throw. And that's a long throw because not only are you trying to throw it 20 yards downfield, but you're 25 yards to the sideline as well. So all in all, about a 45-yard throw he's trying to make there and just couldn't get it there. It may have slipped from his hand a little bit.
Same look for the Jaguars, only from the pistol formation. 4 wide receivers with 1 back in the backfield. Cardinals bring in pressure. Jaguars able to escape the pressure with Dontario Smith. He's across midfield down to the 35-yard line. Make that the 30-yard line. Another huge pickup on the ground from Dontario Smith. And watch him just escape the backfield so quickly. Great job following his blockers there before the Cardinals finally catch up with him.
It's going to come back on a holding penalty. Oof. I was going to praise the block, but right where the flag is where they called the holding penalty. So that one won't count. They'll try to do it again. 10-yard penalty there from the spot of that foul.
That was an emphatic hold from our referee there. It's a very emphatic
He wanted you
call.
To know what he meant.
Yeah, no mistaking that. 11:20 and counting left to play here in the first half. Wilson with Smith standing to his right. Another 4 wide receiver set. He's going to drop back to throw. Screen out to Smith. across the 40, the 45, 50. Other side 45, spinning and brought down by one leg, and I think we've got a flag that came flying out here on the near sideline. You could see Jalen Alexander pointing that direction. I think he wants a first down, but do have a flag down as it's going to be a sideline warning here on the Cardinals, as you could read our head official's lips there, telling them to get back.
You got to be disciplined on the sideline, and especially early in the game. You can't start out getting those kind of penalties, because now you've already got a warning late in the game, and if something exciting happens, it could hurt you.
Hand off to Williams, and Williams only gaining about a yard out of that play, but did you see the cut he made back to the near side?
It was a great cut. He was still only able to get it, but he may not have gotten positive yards had he not.
He was just able to stop on a dime and switch directions so quickly.
Looking back at that, though, it looked like he had a block straight in front of him.
2nd and 9 coming up for the Jaguars. Three receiver look this time with two backs in the backfield. Wilson will fake the handoff to the up back and pitch it out to Williams. Williams trying to find a corner to run around across the 40-yard line, driven out of bounds into a pile of Cardinals. It's a little bit of congratulations from the Cardinal coaching staff.
Williams gets a little pitch out there. It seemed like it was a little late of a pitch from the quarterback. I don't know if he was trying to draw more defenders to him to open it up. So it worked, and they got 6 yards out of the play.
3rd and short coming up. Cardinals bringing pressure from the outside. The Jaguars run it right up the middle, and they're going to pick up a first down. Ontario Smith on the carry with a full head of steam, just lowers his shoulder, finds a gap to shimmy through, and again, the Jaguars move the chains further into Cardinal territory, now inside of 10 minutes left to play in the first half.
When you need 3 yards, don't do anything fancy. Just hand it off and go up the middle. Smith, that's only his 3rd carry on the night, believe it or not. But he's got 78 yards.
Unbelievable. Had that big 65-yard touchdown run to open up tonight's football game. He'll stand in the backfield behind Wilson. 3 receiver look for Cortarius Wilson, and the play will be blown dead. I think they're going to get him for delay of game. Couple of times tonight, they've been a little slow on the snap, have been very close to letting the clock tick down to 0, and that time they did it without being aware. So now 1st and 15 coming up. They'll replay first down.
Looked like they thought it was a longer penalty than it was.
4 receiver set this time for Wilson. Cardinals only bring in 4 linemen. Smith tripped up, and he is smoked. Oh man, at the 35-yard line, Robert Curry with the hit stick.
Look at Curry here. Bam! That's extra points right there.
Boy, he squared him up perfectly. That is a textbook tackle. He got full extension on that too, it looked like.
Still able to get a couple of yards out of it for Southwind.
Yeah, 2nd and 13 coming up. Wilson looking to throw on a screen. It's deflected at the line, but caught. Driven backwards down near the 45-yard line. The defensive end was able to tip it, but the receiver was still able to haul it in. Looked like that was our unnamed wide receiver for the Jaguars on that reception, and it was. Number 5, you could see big 89 getting his hands on it there. And how about that? He's able to come in there and help clean up the tackle as well. That's Cameron John, the 6'4 senior, who was able to deflect that pass.
And so now a long 3rd down for Southwind. Also, like to say hi to all those joining us on Facebook Live tonight. First Tennessee game to be broadcast the whole game on Facebook Live.
Yeah, appreciate you guys joining us. And had a call out on the field. I'm not sure what the call was, but it's a penalty on the Jaguars. They'll back them up
It's a 15-yard penalty. It's some sort of personal foul. No signal from our head referee, however.
Well, that 3rd and long just got 3rd and longer here with 8:16 left to play in the first half.
It's about 36, I think.
4 wide receivers set. This Cardinal crowd is getting into it now. Wilson looking to throw. Takes a shot down the field. Got a man at the 25, 20, 15, 10, 5 touchdown.
And you cannot let that man go like that if you're Brighton, but excellent pass and catch on the wrong side of the field.
Lance West was the defensive back that time, Chad, and the receiver just ran right around him. But how about this? Hold on, everyone. We got a penalty flag out here at about the 22-yard line. This one may be coming back. The way the players are moving right now is indicating that it might.
They have given the signal touchdown, however. The penalty will be enforced on the kickoff. I believe it was an unsportsmanlike conduct penalty.
45-yard touchdown pass from Wilson to our unnamed player.
Just unreal there. And another touchdown for Mr. No Name.
I'm sorry, one of our camera operators just said a player to be named later.
All right.
2-point conversion coming up here for the Jaguars. Wilson looking to throw again, a fade route into the corner of the end zone. Overthrown, and receivers looking for some pass interference. He's not going to get it. The score will remain 26-20. 7:57 left to play here in the first half. A 45-yard touchdown pass for the Jaguars puts them back on top.
My late friend James Gandolfini and I got to know a lot of combat vets over the years when we were in Iraq and in Afghanistan. And it guts me to know that 22 of you are taking your own lives every day. Yeah, I play tough guys in the movies. But you are the real tough guys. And the toughest thing to do sometimes is look for help. I want you to know, reaching out is an act of strength. And our friends at Wounded Warrior Project are here to help. You don't have to go it alone.
Back here with you at Brighton High School. The Cardinals just surrendering another touchdown here in the first half to the Southwind Jaguars. The score's now 26-20. But with that said, the Cardinals have, outside of their opening drive of tonight, have yet to fail to score a touchdown. And they're going to get a little help here with a penalty called on the Jaguars after that touchdown they scored. So the yardage is enforced here on the kickoff. And again, the Cardinals getting a little bit of a break here. And the Jaguars have not really been able to kick the ball deep tonight. So there's a good chance that Brighton could start this one with the ball on the Southwind side of the football field.
It's kicked onto the ground there.
And they'll field that one like a ground ball, running here to the near side of the field. Across the 45, finally finds an edge across the 50-yard line, but a flag is down way on the far side 44.
I believe you're going to get a cut block over there, and that's going to bring the ball back. And that was a 50-yard sprint to get a couple of yards on the return there from Brighton.
Yeah, Hunter Twisdale was running as fast as his legs would carry him to the outside, but as you said, a lot of effort for a little gain. Penalty is going to go against Brighton, so they'll back it up 5 yards from where Twisdale was down. Actually, they'll spot it 10 yards from the spot of the foul.
So they'll start on their own 35. Maybe their worst starting position all night.
Could be. They did have one down back at their own 25 back in the first quarter. Referee is...
Southwind wants a timeout.
All right, well, we'll take one with them. Southwind's second timeout of the first half. They've got one remaining. Brighton still with all three of theirs And the Cardinals have the football. 26-20 is your score. The Cardinals trailing the Southwind Jaguars. 7:48 left to play in the first half.
Until you've seen how fast it really is, some people's reaction to Ritter's 100 megabit internet might be like, 100 mega, huh? Here's how we describe it. Mega beautiful, mega fast, mega blast, mega party, mega Ritter. There's no end to your online possibilities with up to 100 meg internet speeds. In a word, that means mega fun. If you're not getting your high-speed internet from Ritter, you should. Call 888-336-4466 today. Only from Ritter Communications. Right by you.
Andy Maness and Chad Gatlin back here with you at Brighton, where 7:48 left to play here in the first half. The Cardinals have the football after a Southwind timeout. Jaguars with one timeout remaining here in the first half. Brighton still with all three of theirs, and they've got the ball at their own 35-yard line. Three-receiver look here for Malik Jackson. He'll hand it off to West, who's trying to find an opening. He's got one. Cuts back to the middle of the field. It's a foot race across the 35-yard line down to the 25. Lance West carrying a couple of defenders on his back to the tune of about 40 yards.
40-yard run. Lance West sheds a couple of tackles. Look at how he just sheds that tackle right there. 40-yard sprint from Lance West.
He was able to carry Robert Gorey an additional 5 yards. Don't have a weight listed for Gorey, just a sophomore, but either way, you're carrying another human on your back. It's
some laundry on the field here. Face mask penalty against Southwind, and that'll tack on to the end of the run.
Yeah, that will move the Cardinals into the red zone. It should move them inside the 20-yard line here. The way this one's going tonight, it may come down to whoever gets the football last.
It very well could, Andy. It's shaping up to be that type of game, and we could also have a combined score of around 100 the way this game is going.
Jackson checking his wristband for the play. There's the snap. Another design run on the option, and Malik Jackson with his second touchdown of the night. How about that? Everybody keyed in on Lance West, and Jackson with the option play is able to tie this one up, and with an extra point on the way, Cardinals could take the lead once again.
And he very nearly handed it off. You saw him just make that decision at the very last second to pull it back in, and a 14-yard run up the middle. Malik Jackson, 2 touchdowns on the ground, 1 through the air.
Extra point on the way, a little wobbly, but it's through, and the Cardinals.
It got tipped.
with a 1-point lead now, 27-26. 7:23 left to play in the first half. A 12-yard touchdown run from Malik Jackson gives Brighton the lead.
From Iraq and Afghanistan, our brave warriors are coming home, wounded. Some with wounds you can see, some with wounds you can't see. Wounded Warrior Project was created to support our men and women coming off the battlefield. Please help carry these warriors the rest of the way home. Get involved at woundedwarriorproject.org.
Back here at Brighton High School, the Cardinals taking a 1-point lead after the extra point in Malik Jackson 12-yard touchdown rush, and now they're kicking off to the Jaguars again. It's an onside kick right into the chest of one of the return men, and I think that one kind of surprised them a little bit. Elpway Ray on the, should call it a return there.
I don't understand that one, Andy. I mean, you're Brighton here. You're only you're up by 1, and I don't understand another onside kick. I understand trying to catch them off guard the first time, but to do it again in a tight game like this, especially when every drive for every team except one has ended in a touchdown, I don't know why you don't make them work the whole
Well, we
field.
said it may be whoever has the football last. It may also be whoever makes the first stop. Smith with a run right up the gut across the 40-yard line down to the 45, dragging a couple of defenders with him. And he is very near the first down marker, just a yard shy. It'll be 2nd and 1 coming up for the Jaguars.
Finally brought down by Hunter Twisdale after pushing past a couple of tacklers.
Second and 1 coming up, 4 receivers set for Wilson in the pistol formation. Handoff to Smith. Smith hopping his way through a few holes there down to the 40-yard line. Make it the 39 is where they will spot him. And 6:37 left to play in the first half. The chains will move for the Jaguars. Jaguars do have a bit of an advantage. They get the ball after the halftime break. They kicked off to start tonight's football game, so
and
remember, get it coming out of the locker room. They've got a chance to put points on the scoreboard and then get the football back immediately following halftime.
Remember that first possession, Brighton had a drive going. They fumbled the ball and turned it over, led to a Southwind score. Each team has scored since then. It seems like the extra point game is going to be significant in this too.
So 1st and 10 now from the 24-yard line. 4-receiver look. Wilson with a low snap. Little curl route out to the 20-yard line. Caught. And how about that? Shaking one defender and now a second. Some nifty moves over there on the far sideline by our player to be named later.
They'll pick up about 7 yards there on that catch.
Watch this battle with Aaron Alston over here. Gave him a stiff arm, able to outmaneuver him, juke one defender, and finally realizes the rest of the Cardinals are catching up to him and just drops down. Wilson here with a play fake. He'll run to the outside, and a big hit over there on the far sideline with Alston and John.
He'll only be able to get 1 yard out of that one.
3rd and short coming up for the Jaguars now.
I imagine they'll just hand this one off to Smith and let him get it done up the middle like he's been doing all night.
And they're lined up in the pistol like they're ready to give it to him, but the Cardinals have got 8 guys in the box right now guarding against the run. Option. Wilson fakes the pitch. He'll take it himself. Still on his feet down near the 10-yard line. They finally blow the whistle as the piles push backwards, and Wilson is going to move the chains. It should be 1st and goal for the Jaguars coming up. And Wilson with a nice little fake there on the pitch, able to go forward, and now a flag comes flying out just now, and so you wonder if this is going to be unsportsmanlike on somebody.
He was facing
a little too much jawing going on. The Jaguars are celebrating, so it looks like it's going to go against the Cardinals.
He was facing the Brighton line when he threw the flag. Looked like one of them may have said something. Unsportsmanlike conduct.
And it is against Brighton.
That'll put the ball half the distance to the goal here for Southwind.
So that should bring it down to about the 5-yard line here.
And they were giving Brighton a dose of their own medicine there with that option run up the middle by the quarterback. They said, hey, we can do that too.
Cardinals scoring twice off of that play. Both of those scores coming here in the second quarter. First and goal. There's the sweep fake. Smith lowering his shoulder. Sideline official says he's in. Touchdown, Southwind. And again, the Jaguars have reclaimed the lead.
Smith with his second touchdown on the ground of the night. This one just straight up the middle. Excellent blocking. And he's able to squeeze it in there.
Just lowers his shoulder and runs right over Hunter Twisdale. Credit Twisdale for hanging on to those legs, but just a little.
Christian Williams gives him the key block.
A little too short of a field to defend there. 2-point conversion coming up. Low snap. Fade route.
That's going to bring a flag.
Alexander caught it anyway. They've been running that play all night long for Jalen Alexander down here for two-point conversions. They finally cash in on one of them, and they'll get the pass interference as well. So I'm sure that flag will be waved off. We'll wait and see what the call is from the head official.
Interference against Brighton is the call. Be declined.
And they will decline the penalty. So with 4:54 remaining here in the first half, the Jaguars back on top after that two-point conversion, 34-27.
Introducing Ritter Home Security. Ritter takes care of protecting what's most important. Introducing Ritter Home Security. Ritter takes care of protecting what's most important to you, from threats like unwelcome visitors and fire, to making your life easier by putting the control of your home at your fingertips. Use the free app to shut the garage, lock the door, turn off lights, arm the system, and more. You can even turn back the thermostat to help save money on your energy bill. Plus, get a snapshot when your kids get home. It's smart, beautiful, convenient, and ready for your busy life. Ritter Home Security.
Southwind back on top after a 5-yard touchdown rush from Dontario Smith. They now lead the Brighton Cardinals 34-27. Andy Manus, Chad Gatlin back here with you. Kickoff blown dead. I think we're going to get an offsides call here against the Jaguars, so they will have to back it up and kick this one again.
Now all that does is help Brighton get in position to make another score before halftime. Already at a combined score, Andy, of 61.
Well, there's only been one drive where either team has failed to score, and it's been the opening drive of tonight's football game. Lance West would fumble for the Cardinals' opening drive of tonight, and so far he's done a pretty good job making up for that. He's cashed in on a touchdown rush of his own and a couple of good catches here and there.
Close to 100 yards already on the night for West.
They're going to him early and often. Let's see what they do here on this drive. Austin chasing down the kickoff. He'll let that one bounce out of bounds, and the Cardinals will, again, have some pretty favorable field position.
Looks like they'll get this one somewhere around midfield. No, they'll start it from the 35. I wasn't sure how that penalty went, to be honest with you, Andy, because if it goes out of bounds that early, I didn't know if you got it at the spot. But I think it did actually travel past the 35 before it went out of bounds.
Looked like there was some deliberation along the near sideline here between the referee and the head coach of the Cardinals, Robin Jacobs.
They're going to re-kick.
All right, that's a new one.
So apparently you have the option to re-kick, I guess, rather than have the other team take it at the 35. They're only lining up to kick it from the 30.
Try this again. Third time's the charm, I hope, here for the Jaguars.
I got to say, I don't understand this at all, Andy. They didn't get any penalty yardage on the kick.
Line drive kick this time. Austin will field it off the turf. At the 20, now the 30, now the 40. Worked his way up to about the 43-yard line before he ran into a pile, and now the Cardinal offense will get a chance to come back out.
If it was a decision by Southwind to re-kick, it didn't work out in their favor because they're going to start at the 43 instead of the 35, which in a game like this could end up being significant.
Both teams finding a way to score easily, and we're going to get a little huddle going on here in the middle of the field.
Apparently a little too much tension between the two teams, and the referees feel like they need to bring it in and calm them down. Jordan Davis.
See a couple of the players out there.
Jordan Davis. Hey, they're my friends. They really are my friends, I promise.
Jordan Davis and James Carson out there. A lot of love in the air tonight. All right, here we go. 1st and 10 for the Cardinals from their own 43-yard line. Jackson surveying the sideline. I think he's got the play now. Alston will be lined up in the slot here on the near side. And there's the snap, and the play's blown dead immediately. I think the Cardinals should probably be glad as well, because Jordan Davis was standing back there next to Malik Jackson.
And so they'll march it up. It'll be a penalty on the Jags.
Well, move it forward 5 yards. Now 1st and 5 coming up. Kind of a weird sequence here between all the
slowest the game's moved all night.
Oh, no doubt about it. All the kickoffs we just had to endure a moment ago. Handoff on 1st and 5 to Lance West, and they're going to get him for a face mask, I believe. Looks like he was brought down completely by his helmet.
Absolutely blatant face mask right there.
With a personal foul, face mask, Southwind, 15-yard penalty.
So move it forward 15 yards. The Jaguars here in the last couple minutes can't get out of their own way. So now into Jaguar territory from the Southwind 36-yard line. 1st and 10 for the Cardinals. 3 receivers. Jackson will keep it himself on the option. Bounces to the outside at the 25. Brought down by one leg by Jalen Alexander. Nice pickup on the ground for Malik Jackson. Chad, you called it earlier in the game, the running ability of the young quarterback, and you get to see it put on display here in the 2nd quarter. 2 touchdown runs for Jackson, and now a big 1st down run that will move them to the 20-yard line. They're at the red zone with 4:20 left to play here in the 1st half. Southwind will call their 3rd and final timeout of the 1st half. Brighton still with all 3 of theirs. We'll step aside for a quick timeout alongside with them. Southwind leading Brighton 34-27.
My late friend James Gandolfini and I got to know a lot of combat vets over the years when we were in Iraq and in Afghanistan. And it guts me to know that 22 of you are taking your own lives every day. Yeah, I play tough guys in the movies. But yous are the real tough guys. And the toughest thing to do sometimes is look for help. I want you to know, reaching out is an act of strength. And our friends at Wounded Warrior Project are here to help. You don't have to go it alone.
Back here at Brighton, the Cardinals trailing Southwind 34-27. Still in the 1st half of football. Have not had the scoreboards light up like this all year long on Tubetown.
It has been a back and forth track meet here between these two teams for sure, and they're both battling for important position in Region 8-5A.
1st and 10.
From 1st to out of the playoffs with the results of this game.
Jackson with a pitch out to West. West, ooh, slung down with force by Christian Williams. Take another look at the replay here. Williams just gets one hand on him and basically chokeslams him here.
They're actually, it looked like from the replay, though, he got cheated a little bit on the spot. It did look like he got back to the line of scrimmage with his forward progress. They're going to mark it as a 1-yard loss.
So 2nd and 11 coming up. Jackson running to his left. Toss out to Alston. Alston off his fingertips, couldn't haul it in. Got ready to run with it before he was able to secure the football, and now 3rd down play coming up for Brighton. They really could have used some extra yardage there on 2nd down.
Normally that's something that Alston's going to catch. If it touches his hands, he's going to catch it. I mean, he's a big-time Division I prospect receiver, and he doesn't make those mistakes often.
How about that? We got a holding call on the Jaguars, though. So that's going to possibly take that third down and make it a first down, depending on where they spot the football. If it's from where the flag was, it should be third and short.
It looks like now it'll be 3rd and inches.
Make that third and very short.
And they're going to, I guess it's from the spot of the foul, holding penalty.
Far sideline down marker says it's second down. Still inches to go. We'll see if they can get it here. Jackson going to keep it himself. Trying to find the 10-yard line, but he's slung down and out of bounds. Christian Farmer, the middle linebacker, on the tackle there, and now they've got it listed at third down, so we'll go with the officials' call down on the field.
Well, no, I believe that would be right. No loss of down on the penalty before, so it would bring us to third here.
3:10 and counting, 14 seconds left on the play clock here for the Cardinals. Jackson takes the snap, will hand off to West. West following his big blocker across the 10-yard line. No doubt about it, he's got the first down. It'll be first and goal coming up for Brighton, now inside the 3-minute mark. Cardinals got a chance to put up the last points of the first half, barring that they can milk enough time off of the clock here, 2:50 and counting. They'll give the ball back to the Jaguars with very little time remaining in the first half. The Jaguars do get the ball first in the third quarter. Jackson on the option will run it right up the gut for his third touchdown of the night. Malik Jackson on the option, good for 8 yards.
And let's do it one more time. Don't fix what's not broken. Here's Jackson right up the middle, quarterback keeper, third time tonight.
Everybody looking at West, who has been explosive tonight, nearing the 100-yard mark after 2 quarters, and Jackson able to cash in on Lance West being the decoy. Extra point on the way.
It is good.
And it is good. Cardinals have tied this one up 34-34 with 2:39 left to play here in the first half. A 9-yard touchdown rush from the Cardinals, Malik Jackson.
Until you've seen how fast it really is, some people's reaction to Ritter's 100 megabit internet might be like, 100 mega, huh? Here's how we describe it. Mega beautiful, mega fast, mega blast, mega party, mega Ritter. There's no end to your online possibilities with up to 100 meg internet speeds. In a word, that means mega fun. If you're not getting your high-speed internet from Ritter, you should. Call 888-336-4466 today. Only from Ritter Communications, right by you.
Back here at Brighton, all knotted up with 2:39 left to play in the first half. Andy Maness and Chad Gatlin alongside. And this has been a fun ball game to be a part of so far. No short of scoring here between Southwind and Brighton. 34-34 is your score. The second quarter has looked a little bit like this for the Brighton Cardinals. 9-yard touchdown rush from Malik Jackson, 12-yard touchdown rush from Malik Jackson, and a 9-yard touchdown rush by Malik Jackson. Onside kick. Both teams fighting for it. Looks like Southwind's on top of it, but we got a red and a white jersey fighting for it. They're going to say it's Southwind football.
And
I think we had some
Cardinal players on the sideline confused about which way they were going. They celebrated when it was called Southwind's ball.
Well, that was a good kick. Caught Elpway Ray a little off guard there as he tried to field it off the awkward bounce, and Southwind very lucky to come up with that one.
And all I can imagine is Coach Robin Jacobs with Brighton is thinking that one extra possession can turn the tide. He needs to get back that possession they lost on the fumble.
He could be right the way these two teams are putting up points tonight. from their own 48-yard line. Here are the Southwind Jaguars. Wilson in the pistol formation. Smith standing behind him. Smith takes the handoff, running right up the gut. Sheds 2 defenders, finally tackled by a third, but not before he's able to pick up a nice gain, and it'll be 2nd and about 4 to go. Now into Brighton territory from the 45-yard line.
Pick up at 7. It'll be 2nd and 3.
Again, the handoff goes to Smith, running to his right. This time, Cameron John wraps his big arms around him. He'll assist him to the ground.
And that brings his total on the night already to 105 yards on the ground for Smith.
Could be a big-time stop coming up here for the Cardinals if they can shut down this 3rd and 1 play coming up for the Jaguars. They're bringing pressure. Wilson looking to throw to the outside, incomplete.
The last time Brighton forced Southwind into a 4th down situation, they got a touchdown.
Alston playing defense that time, able to knock the ball out of the breadbasket, and now 4th and 1 coming up for the Jaguars. They're going for it. 1:34 left to play in the first half. Fumble on the handoff. Loose football, and the Cardinals have fallen on top of it. Brighton catching a big break here at the end of the first half. And just trying to hustle up and maybe catch the Cardinals off guard. Wilson just couldn't put it in the breadbasket of Dontario Smith cleanly, and Smith not able to hang on to it, and now it's Brighton football.
Brighton goes into 2-minute mode. They're already hurrying to the line.
From their own 41-yard line, Jackson rolling out to the left, looking to throw down the far sideline.
Nearly picked off there.
I was going to say, I couldn't tell if that was caught or if it was picked, but it's incomplete.
Well underthrown by Jackson. He was looking for Alston, and Alston had room over the top of the defender, but Jackson threw the ball short. Nearly got picked off.
2nd and 10 coming up for the Cardinals. 1:20 left to play here in the first half. Again, the Cardinals will have to kick it away to start the 3rd quarter. So they would really like to score here with the game knotted up. Jackson on the keeper, able to shed 1 defender in the backfield, making his way to the near sideline. They're going to say he stepped out. Oh, it was a foot race down the sideline here, but they'll say he put a toe on the white here at the 50-yard line. That'll bring up 3rd and 2, and take a look. Just got right by that defensive tackle in the backfield and was on his way to outrunning everybody, but just couldn't quite tiptoe the sideline long enough.
But it doesn't hurt them really because it stops the clock. And so now they've still got 1:13 left on the clock, and they're at midfield.
And they've got all 3 timeouts left with 3rd and 1 coming up. Jackson running to the right, looking to throw. Turns his body, launches one. Caught inside the 30-yard line. Now the 25 down to the 20. And James Carson had to turn around to find the football. But he does it and then gets a few yards after the catch to boot. 1:06 left to play in the first half. The Cardinals move the chains now inside the red zone of the Jaguars, where they have yet to fail to score tonight. Jackson hands it off to West. West with a lot of running room up the middle is blindsided at the 10-yard line. Got hit pretty hard that time by John Reddick, but not before again moving the chains for another Cardinal first down. Now 1st and goal for Brighton, with 55 seconds left to play here in the first half.
That was a big hit put on West there, but it was a 12-yard run.
3 wide receivers, hand off to West. West running to his left. He's down at about the 5-yard line. It looks like he's just shy of it. They'll spot him at the 6. 41 seconds left to play, and I think Brighton is going to call their first timeout. They still have 2 remaining here in the 2nd quarter with 41 seconds left. They're trying to take the lead again from the Southwind. Jaguars will step aside for a quick break with them. Don't touch that dial. We're back with more 2nd quarter action right after this.
From Iraq and Afghanistan, Our brave warriors are coming home. Wounded. Some with wounds you can see, some with wounds you can't see. Wounded Warrior Project was created to support our men and women coming off the battlefield. Please help carry these warriors the rest of the way home. Get involved at woundedwarriorproject.org.
Back here at Brighton High School, the Cardinals calling their first timeout of the first half. They still got 2 remaining with 41 seconds left to play in the second quarter. They've got it tied up with the Southwind Jaguars right now, 34-34, trying to capitalize off the Jaguars' only turnover of the night. Coming off a Dontario Smith fumble on 4th down. Now the Cardinals with it, 2nd and goal. Quick snap. Faking the handoff to West. Jackson will run it in for his 4th touchdown of the second quarter. And the Cardinals will take the lead with 36 seconds remaining. Just rips it out of the stomach of Lance West and cuts his way through the gap.
For the man who wasn't starting last week. Malik
Unbelievable.
Jackson, 4 on the ground, 1 through the air.
He's got 4 touchdown runs, all of them here in the second quarter. Extra point on the way, and that one will go through the uprights. And the Cardinals have taken a 7-point lead here at the end of the second quarter. 41-34 is your score after a 7-yard touchdown rush from Malik Jackson.
And Southwind already getting lined up for the kickoff.
We know that they can score points in a hurry. They showed it on their first drive of the football game. 1 play, 65 yards from Dontario Smith, and you know he's itching to make up for that fumble, especially after the Cardinals were able to put points on the board after it.
Now, if you're Robin Jacobs, the head coach at Brighton here, I think you kick this one deep. It's 36 seconds left on the clock. You want to try to eat as much of it up on the kickoff as you can, let alone don't give them a short field where they actually have a shot at scoring before going into the half and then getting the ball back.
We'll see what they opt to do here. 2 men back deep, standing just inside the 25-yard line for the Jaguars. Line drive kick. That one might be a touchback. Oh, are you kidding me? It rolls out of bounds at the 1-yard line. If that were a punt, it could not have been placed any better, but not what you want on a kickoff. And just a collective
They're going to
sound
re-kick.
of groans here from the Cardinal sideline.
They're going to choose to re-kick. And like you said, that one was almost out of the end zone, which is the best one you could have asked for. Other than the fact that it doesn't take time off the clock, it would have been perfect.
But that sets up an 80-yard field ahead of the Jaguars. No timeouts, 36 seconds left. And it looks like they're not going to re-kick. They're going to spot the ball at the 35-yard line. And
timeout
now
called by Brighton, actually.
Yeah, Brighton's going to call their second timeout. They've got 1 remaining. 36.4 seconds remaining here in the second quarter. Brighton calling their second timeout of the first half. They've got the lead now over the Southwind Jaguars, 41-34.
From Iraq and Afghanistan, our brave warriors are coming home. Wounded. Some with wounds you can see, some with wounds you can't see. Wounded Warrior Project was created to support our men and women coming off the battlefield. Please help carry these warriors the rest of the way home. Get involved at woundedwarriorproject.org.
Back here on the campus of Brighton High School, Andy Maness and Chad Gatlin. 36 seconds remain here in the first half. Jaguars with the football on their own 35-yard line after the Cardinal kickoff was out of bounds at the 1-yard line. Tough break for Brighton. However, they do have the lead now, 41-34.
36 seconds to go 65 yards.
They've got one timeout left to the Brighton Cardinals. Jaguars with none, so they will have to be in their no-huddle offense and on their P's and Q's ready to go here. Two backs in the backfield for Wilson, providing protection. He's going to wind up and try to throw, but he is sacked. Brought down in the pocket by one of the Brighton Cardinals.
And that's the exact result that you want. If you're the Brighton Cardinals, nothing better than that. Clock keeps moving. Southwind's trying to get down. They need to clock the football here. They're not ready to run a play.
8 seconds left. They may just let time tick down and head into the locker room, and that is exactly what they're going to do. Try to cauterize the bleeding while they can. The Jaguars giving up their lead here at the end of the second quarter to Malik Jackson. Jackson scoring 4 touchdowns in the second quarter. His Brighton Cardinals are on top, headed to the locker room at halftime, 41-34 over the Southwind Jaguars. We're going to step aside for a quick break. When we come back, we'll have some halftime stats and talk about some of the other games going on in the region. All part of the Tubetown Rivalry Series halftime show coming up next.
We're gonna be okay, sweetheart. It's gonna be okay, sweetheart. We're gonna be okay. It's gonna be okay.
Every 8 minutes, the American Red Cross provides a place to stay, financial assistance, and hope. Help now.
Stay in the game with the Ritter Communications Triple Play. Catch all the action with Ritter Digital TV. Tons of sports channels, plus DVR to watch games on your schedule. Track your teams and check out video highlights with mega fast internet speeds up to 100 meg. Plus talk sports all you want with Ritter Phone with unlimited local and long distance calling. Get the winning combination. Call or visit RitterCommunications.com today for Ritter Triple Play.
Introducing Ritter Home Security. Ritter takes care of protecting what's most important to you, from threats like unwelcome visitors and fire, to making your life easier by putting the control of your home at your fingertips. Use the free app to shut the garage, lock the door, turn off lights, arm the system, and more. You can even turn back the thermostat to help save money on your energy bill. Plus, get a snapshot when your kids get home. It's smart, beautiful, convenient, and ready for your busy life. Ritter Home Security.
Until you've seen how fast it really is, some people's reaction to Ritter's 100 megabit internet might be like, 100 mega, huh? Here's how we describe it. Mega beautiful, mega fast, mega blast, mega party, mega Ritter. There's no end to your online possibilities with up to 100 meg internet speeds. In a word, that means mega fun. If you're not getting your high-speed internet from Ritter, you should. Call 888-336-4466 today. Only from Ritter Communications. Right by you.
Introducing Ritter's new whole home DVR solution, the better way to watch TV. Record up to 6 of your favorite programs at the same time. And watch them in up to 5 different rooms throughout your home. Manage your recordings, set parental controls, and more from your smartphone or tablet from the free Follow Me TV app. The best part, equipment starts at only $25 per month when added to an existing TV package. We just revolutionized the way you watch TV. Ritter Communications, right by you.
My late friend James Gandolfini and I got to know a lot of combat vets over the years when we were in Iraq and in Afghanistan. And it guts me to know that 22 of you are taking your own lives every day. Yeah, I play tough guys in the movies, but yous are the real tough guys. And the toughest thing to do sometimes is look for help. I want you to know, reaching out is an act of strength. and our friends at Wonder Warrior Project are here to help. You don't have to go it alone.
High-speed internet for every grown-up, grandparent, kid, teen, and in between. Ritter's got it. Every JPEG, MPEG, and GIF for the working mom or the working stiff, loaded in a GIF. Whether you're a blogger, gamer, or pixel tamer, don't be a slow-speed blamer. Don't waste your time waiting to load that page. Get Ritter high-speed internet. It's all the rage.
There's no end to your online possibilities with up to 100 meg internet speeds. Only from Ritter Communications, right by you.
Introducing Ritter's new whole home DVR solution, the better way to watch TV. Record up to 6 of your favorite programs at the same time. And watch them in up to 5 different rooms throughout your home. Manage your recordings, set parental controls, and more from your smartphone or tablet from the free Follow Me TV app. The best part, equipment starts at only $25 per month when added to an existing TV package. We just revolutionized the way you watch TV. Ritter Communications, right by you.
The Susan G. Komen Race for the Cure. So much more than just the color pink. It's the color of hope, of health, of friendship, of love, and it's the color of heroes. When you raise more than $100, you can wear this cape with pride. The Susan G. Komen Race for the Cure. Saturday, October 14th. Register now at KomenArkansas.org.
We welcome you back to Brighton High School. Andy Maness and Chad Gatlin here with you at halftime, and boy, what a fun first half of football it was between Southwind and Brighton. As you can see, no shortage of scoring here tonight. 20 points for the Jaguars in the first quarter, 13 for the Cardinals, and then Brighton just really turned it on underneath the legs of Malik Jackson. 4 touchdown rushes for him in the second quarter. 28 points for the Cardinals. They lead this one 41-34 at the halftime break. Man,
ton of scoring.
Just got to catch our breath real quick.
I'm telling you, it was. There's hardly time to appreciate the play before the next play is run, and not too long before they've got a touchdown. Some of the drive times, Southwind with drives of 1:09, a drive that was 58 seconds, a drive that was 1 minute 1 second. Brighton had a drive that was 25 seconds. Brighton had another drive that was 1:11, and you just see that's the pace this game has been going at for the most part. There have been a couple of long sustained drives, but for the most part, quick hitters.
Yeah, absolutely. Both teams very much running an up-tempo here as we take a look at the team stats for both sides. 134 passing yards for the Southwind Jaguars, 151 on the ground. A big chunk of those coming from the first play of the game for the Jaguars, a 65-yard rush by Dontario Smith. Looking at the other side, a little bit ground heavy for the Brighton Cardinals, 193 in their rushing attack, and they have 108 through the air.
What is amazing, look at these total yardage. 285 for Southwind, 301 for Brighton. We're only at halftime.
Yeah, they are absolutely high school teams, not just here in Tennessee, but over in Arkansas and around the country who struggle to put up that many total yards in a football game. And you're right, we're here after 2 quarters. And, again, these teams have been lighting it up down there.
Absolutely.
And it's not really that neither team is not playing defense. A lot of the times whenever you see scores like this at halftime, you think, oh man, not a lot of defense being played between these two teams. That's not necessarily true. We have had some good hits out there on both sides, just haven't had any stops yet. Both of these two offenses are a little bit too high powered.
Yeah, absolutely. And Lance West, he has carried the ball already for this Brighton team 19 times tonight, and we're just in the first half.
Yeah, it has been, a fun first half of football between these two teams. Still about 12 and a half minutes left here in the halftime break. The Brighton band out on the field. We're going to go ahead and step aside for another quick break. When we come back, we'll go over the scoring summary and tell you about our upcoming schedule here on the Tubetown Rivalry Series. Back with more action here at halftime.
We're gonna be okay. We're gonna be okay, sweetheart. It's gonna be okay, sweetheart. We're gonna be okay. It's gonna be okay.
Every 8 minutes, the American Red Cross provides a place to stay, financial assistance, and hope. Help now.
Stay in the game with the Ritter Communications Triple Play. Catch all the action with Ritter Digital TV. Tons of sports channels, plus DVR to watch games on your schedule. Track your teams and check out video highlights with mega fast internet speeds up to 100 meg. Plus talk sports all you want with Ritter Phone with unlimited local and long distance calling. Get the winning combination. Call or visit RitterCommunications.com today for Ritter Triple Play.
Introducing Ritter Home Security. Ritter takes care of protecting what's most important to you, from threats like unwelcome visitors and fire, to making your life easier by putting the control of your home at your fingertips. Use the free app to shut the garage, lock the door, turn off lights, arm the system, and more. You can even turn back the thermostat to help save money on your energy bill. Plus, get a snapshot when your kids get home. It's smart, beautiful, convenient, and ready for your busy life. Ritter Home Security.
Until you've seen how fast it really is, some people's reaction to Ritter's 100 megabit internet might be like, 100 mega, huh? Here's how we describe it. Mega beautiful, mega fast, mega blast, mega party, mega Ritter. There's no end to your online possibilities with up to 100 meg internet speeds. In a word, that means mega fun. If you're not getting your high-speed internet from Ritter, you should. Call 888-336-4466 today. Only from Ritter Communications. Right by you.
Introducing Ritter's new whole home DVR solution, the better way to watch TV. Record up to 6 of your favorite programs at the same time. And watch them in up to 5 different rooms throughout your home. Manage your recordings, set parental controls, and more from your smartphone or tablet from the free Follow Me TV app. The best part, equipment starts at only $25 per month when added to an existing TV package. We just revolutionized the way you watch TV. Ritter Communications, right by you.
My late friend James Gandolfini and I got to know a lot of combat vets over the years when we were in Iraq and in Afghanistan. And it guts me to know that 22 of you are taking your own lives every day. Yeah, I play tough guys in the movies, but you are the real tough guys. And the toughest thing to do sometimes is look for help. I want you to know, reaching out is an act of strength. And our friends at Wounded Warrior Project are here to help. You don't have to go it alone.
High-speed internet for every grown-up, grandparent, kid, teen, and in between. Ritter's got it. Every JPEG, MPEG, and GIF for the working mom or the working stiff, loaded in a GIF. Whether you're a blogger, gamer, or pixel tamer, don't be a slow-speed blamer. Don't waste your time waiting to load that page. Get Ritter high-speed internet. It's all the rage.
There's no end to your online possibilities with up to 100 meg internet speeds. Only from Ritter Communications, right by you.
Introducing Ritter's new whole home DVR solution, the better way to watch TV. Record up to 6 of your favorite programs at the same time. And watch them in up to 5 different rooms throughout your home. Manage your recordings, set parental controls, and more from your smartphone or tablet from the free Follow Me TV app. The best part, equipment starts at only $25 per month when added to an existing TV package. We just revolutionized the way you watch TV. Ritter Communications, right by you.
The Susan G. Komen Race for the Cure. So much more than just the color pink. It's the color of hope, of health, of friendship, of love, and It's the color of heroes. When you raise more than $100, you can wear this cape with pride. The Susan G. Komen Race for the Cure, Saturday, October 14th. Register now at KomenArkansas.org.
Back here on the campus of Brighton High School, Andy Maness and Chad Gatlin. Still halftime, 41-34 is your score. The Brighton Cardinals leading the Southwind Jaguars. A fun game it has been so far, and we hope you've enjoyed it as much as we've enjoyed bringing it to you. Chad, I think you're working on a couple of scores over there?
Yeah, in and around the Tubetown viewing area here in Tennessee, Haywood leads Liberty Tech Magnet 21-3 in the third quarter. Already in the fourth quarter, Fayette Academy and Rossville. Fayette Academy winning that one 42-0. Then Covington leads Crockett County 14-10 at the half. A big game there between two really good football teams. Fayette Ware down to McNary Central right now 28-6. Munford, who Brighton faces next week, up on Kirby 34-14 in the third quarter there. The Millington Central Trojans 20-17 over Bartlett right now in the third quarter. And the Ripley Tigers trail the Riverside Panthers 10-7 right now, while Arlington leads Cordova 28-21. And that one has actually now gone final. They got started at 5 p.m., so Arlington winning that one 28-21 over Cordova.
And looking at some of the scores from around the Arkansas neck of the woods, Jonesboro trailing big time right now to Searcy, 35-0. It's in the second quarter. So Jonesboro putting up a goose egg so far. Pine Bluff beating Marion 35-6. That's also in the second quarter. And then West Memphis defeating Jacksonville 24-7. That is at halftime. Looking around the 5A division, Blytheville trailing Batesville 20-7 at the halftime break. Forest City up by 1 on Nettleton 21-20 at the halftime break. How about Valley View? They're kind of beating the brakes off of Greene County Tech right now, 42-14 in the second quarter. So a lot of scores, a lot of scoring, it looks like, tonight across high school football, Absolutely. Not just here in Brighton, but everywhere else as well.
Need to keep an eye on that Nettleton game as well. 21-20 there at halftime. That one should be interesting getting into the second half.
That will be interesting. Nettleton, I believe, is still undefeated on the year, so that will be their first loss if they're not able to pull that one out, and that's definitely going to shape the way that the 5A East playoff picture develops. Very interesting to keep an eye on there. Win versus Paragould, that one is at the halftime break, and that one is 27-0. So again, back here at Brighton, 41-34 is your score at the halftime break. We're going to go ahead and step aside for one more quick break. When we come back, we'll have the third quarter of action for you. Southwind will be receiving the football first. We'll see if they can answer that onslaught of scoring they had to endure from the Brighton Cardinals back in the second quarter. Back with more after this.
Introducing Ritter Home Security. Ritter takes care of protecting what's most important to you, from threats like unwelcome visitors and fire, to making your life easier by putting the control of your home at your fingertips. Use the free app to shut the garage, lock the door, turn off lights, arm the system, and more. You can even turn back the thermostat to help save money on your energy bill. Plus, get a snapshot when your kids get home. It's smart, beautiful, convenient, and ready for your busy life. Ritter Home Security. Introducing Ritter Home Security. Ritter takes care of protecting what's most important to you, from threats like unwelcome visitors and fire, to making your life easier by putting the control of your home at your fingertips. Use the free app to shut the garage, lock the door, turn off lights, arm the system, and more. You can even turn back the thermostat to help save money on your energy bill. Plus, get a snapshot when your kids get home. It's smart, beautiful, convenient, and ready for your busy life. Ritter Home Security.
The Susan G. Komen Race for the Cure. So much more than just the color pink. It's the color of hope, of health, of friendship, of love, and it's the color of heroes. When you raise more than $100, you can wear this cape with pride. The Susan G. Komen Race for the Cure. Saturday, October 14th. Register now at KomenArkansas.org.
Introducing Ritter Home Security. Ritter takes care of protecting what's most important to you, from threats like unwelcome visitors and fire, to making your life easier by putting the control of your home at your fingertips. Use the free app to shut the garage, lock the door, turn off lights, arm the system, and more. You can even turn back the thermostat to help save money on your energy bill. Plus, get a snapshot when your kids get home. It's smart, beautiful, convenient, and ready for your busy life. Ritter Home Security.
The Susan G. Komen Race for the Cure. So much more than just the color pink. It's the color of hope, of health, of friendship, of love, and it's the color of heroes. When you raise more than $100, you can wear this cape with pride. The Susan G. Komen Race for the Cure. Saturday, October 14th. Register now at KomenArkansas.org.
High-speed internet for every grown-up, grandparent, kid, teen, and in between. Ritter's got it. Every JPEG, MPEG, and GIF for the working mom or the working stiff, loaded in a GIF. Whether you're a blogger, gamer, or pixel tamer, don't be a slow-speed blamer. Don't waste your time waiting to load that page. Get Ritter high-speed internet. It's all the rage.
There's no end to your online possibilities with up to 100 meg internet speeds. Only from Ritter Communications, right by you.
Introducing Ritter Home Security. Ritter takes care of protecting what's most important to you, from threats like unwelcome visitors and fire, to making your life easier by putting the control of your home at your fingertips. Use the free app to shut the garage, lock the door, turn off lights, arm the system, and more. You can even turn back the thermostat to help save money on your energy bill. Plus, get a snapshot when your kids get home. It's smart, beautiful, convenient, and ready for your busy life. Ritter Home Security.
The Susan G. Komen Race for the Cure. So much more than just the color pink. It's the color of hope, of health, of friendship, of love, and it's the color of heroes. When you raise more than $100, you can wear this cape with pride. The Susan G. Komen Race for the Cure. Saturday, October 14th. Register now at ColemanArkansas.org.
High-speed internet for every grown-up, grandparent, kid, teen, and in between. Ritter's got it. Every JPEG, MPEG, and GIF for the working mom or the working stiff, loaded in a GIF. Whether you're a blogger, gamer, or pixel tamer, don't be a slow-speed blamer. Don't waste your time waiting to load that page. Get Ritter high-speed internet. It's all the rage.
There's no end to your online possibilities with up to 100 meg internet speeds. Only from Ritter Communications, right by you.
Introducing Ritter Home Security. Ritter takes care of protecting what's most important to you, from threats like unwelcome visitors and fire, to making your life easier by putting the control of your home at your fingertips. Use the free app to shut the garage, lock the door, turn off lights, arm the system, and more. You can even turn back the thermostat to help save money on your energy bill. Plus, get a snapshot when your kids get home. It's smart, beautiful, convenient, and ready for your busy life. Ritter Home Security.
The Susan G. Komen Race for the Cure. So much more than just the color pink. It's the color of hope, of health, of friendship, of love, and it's the color of heroes. When you raise more than $100, you can wear this cape with pride. The Susan G. Komen Race for the Cure. Saturday, October 14th. Register now at ColemanArkansas.org.
Welcome back to Brighton High School. Andy Maness and Chad Gatlin alongside with you, and we're ready to start the third quarter of action. Brighton leading Southwind 41-34. If you're just joining us, you missed one of the most explosive halves of football that we've had all year here on Tubetown.
And Brighton fired up after getting that score before going into halftime and taking the lead in this game. But now Southwind gets the ball back, gets a chance to match it.
Onside kick attempt, and the Cardinals are going to come up with it. It traveled the 10 yards. The Jaguars couldn't field it off the hop, and the Cardinals just fall right down on top of it.
Wow. What a recovery. The Cardinals, you try it enough times, I guess you're going to get it eventually. They put the onside kick out there to start the second half and get the ball.
What a big-time play by the Cardinals. They started off tonight's football game with a fumble on their opening drive. They're able to end the first half with a forced fumble and a touchdown of their own. And now here with an onside kick recovery to start the third quarter. Jackson nearly bobbling the snap, will hand it off to West. West dodges one defender and is able to pick up about 3 yards. It'll be 2nd and 7. He's picking up pretty much where he left off.
Absolutely, Lance West. His 20th carry of the night right there. Already over 100 yards on the
They
ground.
went to him early and they went to him often, save for the 4 touchdowns that Malik Jackson ran in the second quarter. But I think you can credit that with the defense keeping an eye on West. And here he goes around the outside edge across the 35-yard line. He's got the first down before he's knocked out of bounds. Right around looks like they'll spot him at about the 30-yard line. Wanted to say the 31.5, but they're inching closer to the 30-yard line, and that's where they'll spot it.
About a 10-yard sprint from West around the edge there. Able to get it and really get it over there past Davis. That was his side of the field. Although I don't see him on the field right now.
Jackson will take this one himself, and he'll be wrapped up right at the line of scrimmage. Good job by Joshua Bean. Not fooled on the option play that time. That option play has scored 4 touchdowns for Malik Jackson and this Brighton Cardinal offense. All of those rushing touchdowns for him coming in the second quarter. He had a passing touchdown back in the first. Here he's tossing one out to Alston. Alston with a completion across the 20-yard line down to the 15. Nice little slant pattern on 2nd and 10, and the Cardinals will move the chains inside the 15-yard line.
Right there, just a pass right up the middle to Alston. Nicely placed by Jackson. Alston with the soft hands grabs it.
And, you know, Alston kind of favoring his shoulder now. You just saw one of the Cardinals kind of yank on his arm there. You wonder if he might have been maybe just trying to stretch it out or maybe pop it back into place. I don't know, but he is favoring his arm, and we've got a stoppage in play here. Referee is going to say that Alston has to come off the field. I guess they not really too sure what the call was.
Yeah, I'm not either. Just a little bit of delay in the action there, and not a lot of explanation.
Alston getting some attention here on the near sideline. Meanwhile, 1st and 10 for the Cardinals from the 15-yard line. 3-receiver look, West in the backfield. They'll fake the handoff to him, and it'll be Jackson on the keeper. Trying to find an edge. He's got one at the 10. Drug down from behind at the 5-yard line. And I think he moved the chains. It should be 1st and goal now coming up for Brighton. What a run by Malik Jackson. Looked like they were going to have him bottled up in the backfield. He somehow was able to find the edge and get about 9 yards out of it. Didn't get the first down. It'll actually be 2nd and 1 coming up.
Yeah, and Jackson, we've seen that keeper a lot down here in the red zone. He may go for it again here.
Nope, they hand it off to West. West following his blockers. He's now down inside the 5-yard line, and that will move the chains. Now 1st and goal coming up for Brighton. We're under 10 minutes left to play in the third.
Brighton trying to pay off that onside kick to start the game and go up 2 scores, which could be huge in this contest.
Yeah, each team with 1 fumble to their credit. Now here, how about that jump off of the line by the Jaguar defense? And, of course, big 18, Jordan Davis, the future member of the Crimson Tide, in there on that tackle. But, golly, it looked like the entire D-line had the snap count timed perfectly.
It really did, and I see Davis back in there now, and he's making plays. There was a couple of plays he was not in the game, and it was very curious for this Southwind team.
Alston is back in the game now, lined up at the slot receiver. You see him at number 1 right there. Low snap, Jackson picks it up, and he is swallowed up by a couple of defenders. 3 of them were in there on that play. 2 of them make the tackle. Damarian Houston, one of those Jaguars in there, getting a hand on Jackson. And
2 plays,
bring up
negative 6 yards for the Cardinals here.
Yeah, had it 1st and goal right at the 5-yard line. Now 3rd and goal. They're backed up to about the, it looks to be about the 12, maybe the 11. Alston lined up on the far sideline. 3 receivers for Jackson. Jackson rolling out to his left. Tosses it to the end zone. He's got a receiver. It's Alston for a touchdown. And the Cardinals will capitalize on that onside kick. They extend their lead, now 47-34 as we take a look at the Rob Taylor State Farm replay. Alston just outran the defender, and a great throw by Jackson, putting it right in the breadbasket of Alston where only he could get to it.
And once again, another touchdown on the board for Malik Jackson, his 7th touchdown of the night. The extra points up and through for the Cardinals. And now they're up 2 scores. They want to start trying to put this thing away.
48-34 with 8:23 remaining here in the third quarter. Malik Jackson with another touchdown pass to his credit to Aaron Alston.
Introducing Ritter Home Security. Ritter takes care of protecting what's most important to you, from threats like unwelcome visitors and fire, to making your life easier by putting the control of your home at your fingertips. Use the free app to shut the garage, lock the door, turn off lights, arm the system, and more. You can even turn back the thermostat to help save money on your energy bill. Plus, Plus, get a snapshot when your kids get home. It's smart, beautiful, convenient, and ready for your busy life. Ritter Home Security. Introducing Ritter Home Security. Ritter takes care of protecting what's most important to you, from threats like unwelcome visitors and fire, to making your life easier by putting the control of your home at your fingertips.
8:23 left to play here in the third quarter. Brighton capitalizing off of an onside kick attempt. They're just going to kick this one away. They lead 48-34. Goes over the head of the return man into the end zone for a touchback. Great kick that time by the Cardinals. And the Jaguars will have a little bit of a road to climb here, starting from their own 20-yard line. And they now trail by 2 scores. They haven't trailed by more than 1 score all night long, and now they find themselves in a little bit of a hole.
Brighton tried that onside kick a lot in the first half. Come out in the second half and recover it. Really what they needed to turn this game in their favor. Now up 2 scores, and the way it's been going, they're going to have to make a mistake in order for Southwind to capitalize.
Ball's on the ground. Did the Cardinals come up with it? They did. Brighton with another fumble recovery, and it looks like the wheels might be about to fall off of the Southwind wagon. And a great job just knocking the football right out of the hands of the running back, and that was Jordan John on the forced fumble there. I think Dontario Smith was the tailback there. That would be his second fumble of the night.
Brighton now got a chance to really put this game in jeopardy for the Jaguars.
Here's Lance West on a run. Spins off one defender, off of a second. He's into the end zone. Lance West, 18 yards for the score. And the Cardinals have come out of the locker room fired up.
My goodness, Lance West, watch this. This should have been over here. 1 tackle shed, 2 tackles shed, 3 tackles shed, 4, and stumbles backwards almost into the end zone. Lance West, what a game from him.
We have a flag out on the play, though, so it's like this touchdown will be erased. A holding penalty.
In the backfield, so it's going to be a
and that hurts after a run like that. And offsides on the Jaguars. You saw that without a shadow of a doubt. William Knox jumping right over the line of scrimmage.
You hate to see a run like that from West not get paid off. He sheds 4 tackles on his way to the end zone, pushes to get the extra yardage and over the line, and then doesn't get it paid off because of a holding penalty that happened behind the play.
So now 1st and 15 coming up. They get the play from the sideline. Tight end goes in motion. He'll stay ahead and block for West. West pushing his blocker ahead and again trying to fight off a couple of defenders while he's gaining extra yardage. He gets down to the 20-yard line. He's back near the original line of scrimmage, but still about a few yards shy. So it's to be 2nd and 13 coming up. Jaguars with 5 down linemen, 2 linebackers. 4 dropped back into coverage. Fakes the handoff to West, toss over to Alston, nearly picked off on the deflection.
Throw was a little high from Jackson.
Was.
Alston tried to bring it down, but just couldn't quite get up to it.
Cardinals are lucky that the outside cornerback had slipped covering his receiver because that deflection was headed right in his direction, and I think if he had been on his feet, he would have had a pretty good look at that pick, but nonetheless, it is 3rd and 13 coming up, 7:16 remaining in the third, and now a little bit of substitution of personnel going on here.
And if you notice what Southwind has done with Davis is they've put him into a linebacker position and made him a spy. And if I'm not mistaken, he's spying Malik Jackson because he's been tearing him up on those quarterback keepers. And I think they decided to take their best defensive player, Davis, and spy the quarterback with him.
Brighton is going to call a timeout, their first of the second half, so they have 2 remaining. We'll take a timeout with them. 7:13 left to play in the third, 48-34, Brighton leading Southwind.
Until you've seen how fast it really is, some people's reaction to Ritter's 100 megabit internet might be like, 100 mega, huh? Here's how we describe it. Mega beautiful, mega fast, mega blast, mega party, mega Ritter. There's no end to your online possibilities with up to 100 meg internet speeds. In a word, that means mega fun. If you're not getting your high-speed internet from Ritter, you should. Call 888-336-4466 today. Only from Ritter Communications. Right by you.
Back here at Brighton, 7:13 left to play in the third. 3rd and 13 coming up for the Cardinals. They were able to start this third quarter with an onside kick recovery, and then on the Jaguars' first and only play of the third quarter, they give up a fumble. Now the Cardinals in the end zone. Did he catch that? No, incomplete. Dropped it on his way down, but a flag has been thrown in the end zone as well. Aaron Alston double covered there.
2 defenders, and Jackson still decided to throw to him.
Not the first time we've seen that happen tonight.
There will be a pass interference on the defense.
So a couple of penalties backed up the Cardinals. They had a touchdown scored, had it called back on a holding penalty, and now on 3rd and long, a pass interference will move the chains up.
And that'll give them a 1st and goal from the 10 here.
It ought to, but they have not signaled that yet. They still have got it as 3rd and 4. Ought to be automatic 1st down, but I guess not. 3rd and 4, handoff to West. West with a full head of steam, nears the 5-yard line, and he's got the 1st down nonetheless. So it will be 1st and goal.
They pick up a 1st down, 1st and goal, Cardinals.
They moved. Well, I'm not even going to try to explain what they were doing there. It should have been a half the distance to the goal, automatic 1st down on that pass interference call.
See Cameron Newman out there for the Cardinals, one of the leading blockers. He's been running ahead of Lance West all night. He looks like he's kind of holding his hip bone out there. Here's Lance West. No, here's Jackson on the keeper. Faked it to West. Now he's trying to juke his way up the middle. Picks up 2 to 3 yards. He'll be downed at about the 2-yard line. So 2nd and goal coming up now inside of 6:30 left to play here in the third quarter. We're already halfway through the third quarter, and the Jaguars have only run 1 offensive play that has resulted in a fumble.
Now Brighton sort of methodically cranking down clock after recovering that fumble.
West standing to the right. They'll fake the handoff to him. Jackson will keep it himself, and how about that? Touchdown number 7 on the evening for Malik Jackson, his 5th rushing touchdown of the night.
We have seen it time and time again. It's the fake handoff to West, the keeper for Jackson, right off tackle and into the end zone.
On to attempt the extra point with 6:11 left to play here in the third quarter. And it is now a 21-point ball game for the Brighton Cardinals. Unbelievable. Malik Jackson with touchdown runs of 9 yards, 12 yards, 9 yards and 7 yards. He can add a 2-yard touchdown rush to the list now as well. His Brighton Cardinals lead the Southwind Jaguars 55-34. And now the Jaguars with an even bigger hole to climb out of. They're going to have to put up some points and do it in a very quick fashion, which these two teams have not had any trouble finding the end zone. But again, halfway through the third quarter here, and Southwind has only run 1 offensive play, and that resulted in a turnover. So gave up the onside kick to start the third. Let's see what Brighton dials up here. Low line drive kick, Fielded off of a bounce inside the 15-yard line. Smith takes it across the 20, now the 25-30, hits the afterburners, 40, 45, 50, back to the middle of the field, other side 40, 35, 30, down the far sideline numbers, and knocked out of bounds at about the 21-yard line. And we talk about needing points in a hurry. That's a good way to start that process. Dontario Smith with one heck of a return there, about 70 yards. You saw him turn around and find his running lane, and once he found it, he just made his way down the field following his blockers. He had a convoy ahead of him there, Chad.
Had it not been for DeRobert Curry deciding to take the long angle on it, he would have had a touchdown out of that.
Best starting field position of the night for Southwind. Here's Wilson looking to throw, going for the end zone.
That's going to get a flag.
And a flag comes flying out to Robert Curry guarding Jalen Alexander. And that's about the third time we've seen that exact call tonight on Curry, who's guarding Alexander. He's got his hands full over there. And
he does.
Literally full of Alexander's jersey.
That's right. Curry is doing this every time Alexander runs the fade route. He puts his hands under his shoulder pads and holds, and you just can't do that. You can give him a bump at the line, then you got to give him the room.
I guess the coach will tell you they'd rather give up a penalty in the end zone than a touchdown, though. So
the problem is the last time before this that he did it, he caught it anyway.
Yeah, converted that two-point conversion. Now 1st and 10 from inside the 15. It's Williams on the carry. Stumbles over one defender inside the 5-yard line and got down near the goal line, but couldn't quite sneak it in. And I think that was actually Lacavius Summers. He's a freshman. Getting a little fresh face in there.
11-yard run there.
Now 1st and goal from inside the 5. They've got them spotted at the 2. Hand it off on the sweep. No, they fake the sweep, and they'll run it right up the gut with Dontario Smith. A 2-yard touchdown rush, and the gap has narrowed just slightly for the Jaguars.
Southwind not ready to go away yet. This Region 8-5A, the top spot, sitting on the line for 4 different teams tonight. Southwind doesn't want to give it up easily. They're going for 2 here.
And again, they're going for Jalen Alexander on the fade route in the corner of the end zone. And how about that? Even with the pass interference and the deflection, somehow Alexander catches that football. The 2-point conversion is going to be good. And that follows the 2nd touchdown rush for Dontario Smith on the night. See if the call is indeed going to go against the Brighton Cardinals.
If it did this time, I didn't see it. And DeRobert Curry is going to have to get more disciplined with his coverage. But in this particular case, I didn't see the pass interference. If anything, there may have been a push-off.
We've still yet to have a call from our head officials, so I guess they'll just consider that.
I think they picked up the flag.
Waved off, and they'll give the 2 points here to the Jaguars. They now trail by 13 points. Maybe they'll enforce it on the kickoff here.
Looks like. It looks like a 10-yard penalty. So it wouldn't have been a pass interference. You wouldn't have enforced it anyway. It would have been declining you to take in the 2-point conversion. So it must have been something that occurred after the play.
That drive just took 40 seconds off of the clock here in the 3rd quarter. So again, talking about Southwind needing to score quickly and in a hurry. And now they're going to move the football to the
I've never heard of
Southwind side of the field.
I've never heard of a 20-yard penalty. And that's 20 yards that they put onto the front of the kickoff there. I don't know if they stacked 2 penalties.
We have seen some confusing things from these officials here tonight.
We need to find a company to donate microphones to the refs so we know what's going on in all these high school games.
Kickoff will go out of bounds, and a flag comes flying out.
Oh,
so
you can't do that. You can't do that. If you're the team kicking off and you can kick off from the other team's 45, you can't kick it out of bounds.
And it looks like they're just going to set it up at the 35 instead of re-kicking this one. 5:15 left to play here in the third. Again, that 2-yard touchdown rush from Dontario Smith moments ago and the 2-point conversion. Just a 45-second drive for the Jaguars. Smith on the touchdown. He also set up that drive as well with a huge kickoff return. But now here from their own 35-yard line, we'll see if Brighton can answer. Haven't seen a punt team so far tonight. I think we've only seen 2 fourth downs. This time a handoff to West will go nowhere, possibly dropped for a loss.
Looks like he did get back to the line of scrimmage on that one.
No gain on the play. Take it down and 10.
Clock will continue to run now. Under 5 minutes left to play in the third. Alston will be lined up in the slot here. He's got 2 touchdown catches on the night. Faking the handoff to West. Jackson will keep it himself. Running right up the middle, and he is tripped up by the ankles by Jordan Davis. Great tackle around the shoestrings, and he celebrates a little, rightly so. 3rd and 10 coming up.
Lee Jackson going to that touchdown play that they run, but not getting enough yardage to get out of a passing situation here.
It'll actually be 3rd and 8 coming up now. Southwind not bringing that much pressure. It's a screen pass. West at the 35, out to the 40, swallowed up a big-time hit on the other side of the 40. It'll bring up 4th down. I said we only had a handful of 4th downs. Got another one coming up here. Have not seen them too often tonight, and let's see.
They've been converted each time, I believe.
Well, Brighton's going to bring their punt team out.
I hope that kicker's leg is warm. He may have fallen asleep on the sideline.
He may have. So 4th and about 4 yards to go. Cardinals appear as if they're going to boot this one away. I think Dontario Smith is back deep to return this one. Bobbled snap. He just throws it instead of punting it, and it's, I don't know if it counts as an interception or how you score that, but either way, Southwind ball on the other side of the 40-yard line at about the 42. Basically works just like a turnover on downs.
Yeah, it certainly does, and we see the punter there. He gets in trouble. I don't think he saw the first man coming, and instead of going down, which honestly he really ended up doing Brighton a favor there, getting rid of the ball, and the Southwind guy, because he did put him back a few extra yards at least before the turnover.
Now great starting field position for the Jaguars with 3:15 remaining here in the third quarter. Here's Smith on an outside run across the 35, down the sideline to the 30, and Dontario Smith again eating up some pretty good yards on the ground. And I beg your pardon, that's actually Mark Freeman. Hey, guess what? We had our player later to be named in the game. His name is Mark Freeman.
Named. Mark Freeman there. Big-time player for Southwind. Glad we finally found out what his name was.
He's had a couple of big catches tonight, and now a big run makes it 1st and 10 from the 29-yard line. Now Smith will take the handoff, running right up the middle, bouncing off one defender and a second, finally tripped up by a 3rd and a 4th. He's going to cross the 25-yard line down to the 24, picking up a good 6 yards on that first down run. So 2nd and 4 coming up. 4 wide receivers set for the Jaguars. And now we've got Jeffrey Williams back in the game in the backfield. Brighton looks like they're bringing pressure. They back off into coverage now. Shot towards the end zone. Incomplete. And again, they were looking for Jalen Alexander over there. guarded by DeRobert Curry. They have been trying to work that matchup all night long. They've done it to somewhat success on a couple of shots toward the end zone on 2-point conversions. That time, Curry looked like he was again holding the jersey of Alexander, but the ball was uncatchable. So
I think I think he was, but I don't think that's what held him up. I think mostly what held him up was the quarterback got rid of the ball a little faster than usual for that play, and he timed it out wrong.
Brighton showing blitz again. 3rd and 5. They hand it off to Williams. Williams bounces off the initial defender, but the Cardinal defensive line in there to clean up the mess. Latavius Summers, actually the tailback on the carry that time, number 29 again. He's just a freshman for the Jaguars. And now it will be 4th and 5 coming up. Jaguars going to go for it. 4 wide receivers, 2 on either side for Wilson. And Summers leaning forward, the freshman, is going to get called for a false start. You saw Latavius Summers just start to lean forward, anticipating that play, and he just, Chad, it looked like he lost his balance there.
It happens sometimes, especially when you get momentum on your side and you're starting to get energized to play the next down, and you just can't hold yourself up after you lean so far. And that's what happened there.
Now 4th and 10 coming up. Cardinals showing blitz. Wilson taking a shot down the far sideline. Alston over there playing defender, and a little bit of back and forth from both sides. No penalties called, and a turnover on downs. Great defense by Aaron Alston on that play.
That was how you play defense right there. You actually.
Actually, was that DeRobert Curry?
It was DeRobert Curry, actually. Yes, and that's the way that you should play it every time. He's looking for the ball. He's playing the ball. So, therefore, he's not going to draw the flag from the refs for the incidental contact. As long as you turn your head toward the ball, incidental contact won't be called pass interference.
Lance West running here on 1st down will get tripped up by Jordan Davis just shy of the 30-yard line. So, 2nd and 10 coming up as West takes that one for no gain. Good tackle there by Jordan Davis. Going to be excited to watch him play at the next level.
Brighton wanting to stretch out this 13-point lead.
That's right. Now we're under a minute left to play here in the 3rd quarter. Jackson on the keeper across the 40, the 45-50, trying to fight off one defender. He's drugged down by his jersey. Quentin Williams able to get a paw on him and slow him up right at midfield, or else Jackson would have been gone to the house for his 6th touchdown rush of the night. Take a look here, and just right there gets a paw on him and is able to bring him down. And actually that's Zachariah Fitzroy who came up with that, you call it an interception moments ago. 1st and 10, West running to the outside. He's got a lot of running room down the far sideline.
It's going to come back. There's a hold on the left side that broke him free.
Flag is down back here at the 44-yard line, as Chad just mentioned.
I believe that's going to be on Josh McFarland. No, Tyler Carmack is who that's going to be on, I think.
Well, it's right at the line of scrimmage. And it'll be holding against the Cardinals.
That's what broke West free for the big run, was the hold. In that case, it really was. A lot of times the holds bring back runs, and it didn't make a difference on the play. In that case, that's what broke West free for all the yardage.
Well, 2nd time we've seen a big run from him called back tonight. One of them was a touchdown earlier here in the 3rd quarter. He's just trying to find the end zone. He hasn't found the end zone since the 1st quarter. Malik Jackson's kind of stealing his thunder here. Alston will now flip to the far side of the field. One blocker ahead for West. They might run the ball here, and they do. They fake the handoff to West. Jackson is going to carry it, and he is wrapped up by Jordan Davis. You called it earlier, Chad. Davis shifted out to the linebacker position, and he is doing a good job playing spy on Malik Jackson.
And that's exactly why they have him back there, is so that he can take that angle. He has the closing speed of a corner, really.
He really does. And now the Cardinals will let the game clock tick down to 0. We'll travel a few yards, flip sides, and come back with the fourth quarter. The Cardinals with a big opportunity to put the game away here on their next drive to start the fourth quarter. We'll come back with that action right after this on the Tubetown Rivalry Series.
Introducing Ritter Home Security. Ritter takes care of protecting what's most important to you, from threats like unwelcome visitors and fire, to making your life easier by putting the control of your home at your fingertips. Use the free app to shut the garage, lock the door, turn off lights, arm the system, and more. You can even turn back the thermostat to help save money on your energy bill. Plus, get a snapshot when your kids get home. It's smart, beautiful, convenient, and ready for your busy life. Ritter Home Security.
Ready to start the fourth quarter back here at Brighton High School. Andy Maness and Chad Gatlin here with you, where the score is 55-42. Brighton leading the Southwind Jaguars. And talked about it right before going to the break here. Brighton with an excellent chance to kind of put things almost out of reach here for Southwind. They do have a 2-possession lead right now, the chance to make it 3 possessions on this drive, and that would be a long road to hoe for the Southwind Jaguars. 2nd and 16 coming up. Jackson rolling out to his right, looking to throw. Flushed out the other way now with a lot of running room in front of him and a wide open receiver. Caught at the 20-yard line, at the 10, the 5. Touchdown Cardinals.
Wow.
Malik Jackson with a little Brett Favre action there is able to roll out to the right. Runs into some trouble, so he comes back the other way to the near side.
Talk about something out of nothing.
Just found a receiver hanging out wide open down here. And that was Drew Twisdale on the reception. That was a 46-yard touchdown pass.
And
make that 56 yards.
44, I think, is what they're going to score it as.
Extra point is good, and now Brighton leads this one 62-42. Back on top by 20, and Malik Jackson with his 8th touchdown of the night. And I don't know if any of them were as pretty as this.
My late friend James Gandolfini and I got to know a lot of combat vets over the years when we were in Iraq and in Afghanistan. And it guts me to know that 22 of you are taking your own lives every day. Yeah, I play tough guys in the movies. But yous are the real tough guys. And the toughest thing to do sometimes is look for help. I want you to know, reaching out is an act of strength. And our friends at Wounded Warrior Project are here to help. You don't have to go it alone.
Back here on the campus of Brighton High School, the Cardinals finding the end zone once more. Malik Jackson to Drew Twisdale. Good 50 yards through the air. Jackson now with 8 touchdowns on the night. This kickoff will go into the end zone for a touchback. Man, if there is ever a player of the week candidate, it has got to be Malik Jackson.
No kidding. And his
four
name will be on there.
4 touchdowns in the second quarter on the ground by himself. He's got now 3 passing touchdowns. And then he had a rushing touchdown in the third quarter as well. So, again, a total of 8. We talked about it at the start of the game. For a guy who has not started the last 2 weeks, you got to wonder if he came out here and played with a little chip on his shoulder tonight. He certainly
looks that way.
Certainly looks that way, absolutely. He is playing like a man possessed.
187 yards through the air for Jackson in passing. Also picking up a good deal of rushing yards. Had it not been for a 19-yard sack, he'd have even more.
Wilson taking a shot here on 1st and 10. Just past the outstretched fingertips of his intended receiver, Trey Davis. And that one probably would have went for 6. Just missed his receiver in stride, though.
3rd straight incompletion there for the Southwind Jaguars. They haven't completed a pass on a drive yet. The last completion was for a 2-point conversion. Down 20 here. They're going to have to pick up the tempo.
Yeah, 2nd and 10 coming up. They do still have all 3 of their timeouts. Handoff up the middle. Little juke move. Now weaving through traffic is Dontario Smith. He's got the first down, but picked up and slammed by one of the Cardinal defenders. I think that was Keontae Newsome on the tackle there, but a hefty piece of running that time once again from Dontario Smith. Let's take a look and see if they might have blown this one dead a little too early. Oh no! Well, I don't know. I don't know if his knee actually ever hit the turf or not. Either way, 1st and 10. Another run here from Ontario Smith. Again, taken down by Newsome, and Newsome giving him a little extra business there after that tackle.
That's going to be a 1st down again.
Back-to-back 1st down runs for Smith. He's got 2 touchdowns to his credit tonight. He'll head to the far sideline, and can't tell if that's Joffrey Williams or the freshman Lacavius Summers in there. That's Williams in the backfield. He'll get the handoff. No, it is the freshman Summers. Summers with a stiff arm. Almost able to get around Aaron Alston, but Alston showing he can play defender as well as wide receiver. He ran into a 6'5" cornerback, and I think we know who won that battle.
Clotheslined.
Summers listed at 5'8". Second and 8, little toss out to the sideline is good for Alexander. I think that's his probably 5th or 6th catch of the evening, and now 3rd and 5 coming up. Clock will stop as Alexander was able to get out of bounds. 10:30 left to play here in the 4th quarter. Southwind again still has all 3 of their timeouts. Brighton with 2 remaining in this 20-point ball game. Wilson looking to throw. The Cardinals blitz from the corners, and they're going to bring up 4th down, stopping Summers right at the line of scrimmage.
And it's just a run that looked like it had momentum, but hit a brick wall once it got to the line and went nowhere.
Well, you saw the defensive backs crash the corners. They left their assignments at wide receiver and just crashed the line of scrimmage and ran right into Summers, and now 4th and about 4 coming up here. Wilson in the shotgun formation with 4 receivers to throw to. Throw out to the near side here, caught by Mark Freeman across the 35. Trying to get around the 2 defenders hot on his tail and pick up a couple more yards, but he does move the chains there on 4th down though. Now 1st and 10 inside of Brighton territory with 9:43 left to play in the game. Clock will stop until they get it reset.
And that play was drawn up so brilliantly and executed because it put all of the defenders right out of position. They only needed the yardage for the 1st down. They ends up getting yards after the catch, but the important thing was to get the pass out past the sticks, and so he gets open in the flat and is able to make an easy catch.
Toss out to the flats to Smith. Smith has got another 1st down, or if he doesn't, he's awfully close to it. Just shy of the 25-yard line. It looks like they'll actually spot him at about the 24. And it is just shy of that 1st down marker, so 2nd and about a yard coming up. Clock hasn't stopped. Jaguars hurry to the line. Wilson taking a shot towards Freeman in the end zone, and it's well over his head. That time, great defense played again by DeRobert Curry.
And I think Wilson is looking for that flag now. I think he's just trying to draw the flag. He knows that it's happened to Curry a lot, and so he's throwing that direction, hoping to get the flag.
Well, Curry did a great job that time of stopping the wide receiver, jamming him right at the line of scrimmage. Here's Smith with a full head of steam, and he's going to get the 1st down on this third down run, moving it inside of the 20-yard line. But again, you had to Robert Curry on that last play. Did a great job of jamming Freeman right at the line, and he didn't have a chance to get a step on him. Jaguars already ready to run their next play, 8:47 and counting. Now 1st and 10 from the 18-yard line. Pump fake, now a throw to the end zone. Freeman wide open, but it's way over his head. Freeman had a step on Curry that time, but an inaccurate pass will bring up 2nd and 10 from the 17-yard line. Good little pump fake from Wilson there. I think did a good job of freeing up Freeman, but again, just an inaccurate pass. And second and 10 coming up, 3-receiver look with 2 backs in the backfield for Wilson.
Looks like Williams is going to be lining up this time.
And actually, we're going to have a timeout called by Southwind. That is their first timeout here of the second half, so they've got 2 remaining. Brighton also has 2 remaining, and the Cardinals have a 20-point lead with 8:38 remaining in the fourth quarter. Your score, Brighton 62, Southwind 42. You're watching it right here on the Tubetown Rivalry Series.
Until you've seen how fast it really is, some people's reaction to Ritter's 100 megabit internet might be like, 100 mega, huh? Here's how we describe it. Mega beautiful, mega fast, mega blast, mega party, mega Ritter. There's no end to your online possibilities with up to 100 meg internet speeds. In a word, that means mega fun. If you're not getting your high-speed internet from Ritter, you should. Call 888-336-4466 today. Only from Ritter Communications, right by you.
Back here at Brighton, 8:38 to play in the fourth quarter. It's a 20-point ball game, 62-42. Brighton leading Southwind. Southwind threatening right now. 2nd and 10. Screen pass caught by Smith across the 5-yard line, and he'll walk right into the end zone. No longer a 3-possession game anymore with that score. Ontario Smith narrows the margin once again, and that looked a little too easy. Just let the defenders through. Smith just had to follow his blockers and found a gap easy enough to dance through there.
Absolutely. Well blocked. Well blocked all the way downfield, and handed to the receivers too, getting their blocks downfield and really able to spring him open for that lane into the end zone.
18-yard touchdown pass, low snap, faking the sweep. They hand it off to Smith. Did he get in? He did. The 2-point conversion is good. So now back to a 12-point ball game. 62-50 is your score after that 18-yard touchdown pass, a screen play from Wilson to Smith. 62-50 with 8:31 left to play in the fourth quarter.
From Iraq and Afghanistan, our brave warriors are coming home, wounded. Some with wounds you can see, some with wounds you can't see. Wounded Warrior Project was created to support our men and women coming off the battlefield. Please help carry these warriors the rest of the way home. Get involved at woundedwarriorproject.org.
Back here at Brighton High School, Andy Maness and Chad Gatlin with you. 62-50 is your score. The Cardinals lead the Jaguars. Southwind able to score on an 18-yard screen pass from Corterius Wilson to Dontario Smith, and now the ensuing kickoff, low line drive. Austin will catch it off of the hop. Across the 25, stutter step. He's now across the 40. Hurdles a man on the far sideline before he's knocked out of bounds. Austin showing his athleticism there.
Absolutely, and now we wonder, will we see any slowdown from the Cardinal offense as they come out here and try to run some clock off while increasing the lead, hopefully, but the biggest thing they want to do is run some clock down and get away with this win.
And Austin, he cleared the defender, and if it hadn't been for the pursuing defender, he would have gotten away with that. 1st and 10 from their own 41. Hand off to West, running to the left, looking for the edge. Stutter step, bottled up by 2 to 3 defenders. He'll still pick up about 3 yards on the first down run. That'll make it 2nd and 7, and they continue to go to Lance West early and often.
Lance West, the workhorse back for this team, 27 carries tonight.
Hard to believe we've only seen one punt attempt. We've had a turnover on downs here in the fourth quarter. I think this is probably the highest scoring game we've ever been a part of here on Tubetown.
And still 7.5 minutes to go.
That's right. 2nd and 7 coming up. Faking the handoff to West. Jackson will cut up the middle. Tackled right at the B in the middle of the field. Very near the first down marker, but looks like it'll be 3rd and 1 coming up. And we have got a Jaguar who is a little slow to get up, and he is kind of
writhing in
pain. Yeah, writhing over, I think, maybe his right leg, but
he gets
making
up.
his way to his feet now. They're going to help him. Looks like they're going to assist him off of the field. That's Jarrell Turner, just a junior for the Jaguars, and they will assist him off the field. So glad to see he was able to get up on his own. Hopefully just maybe tweaked an ankle or something like that. Hopefully nothing too serious over there. Meanwhile, here for the Cardinal offense, 7:27 and counting left to play here in the third, or fourth rather, and a 3rd and 1 coming up. Alston is lined up in the slot here on the near side. See the Cardinals in unison checking their armband. They've got the play.
I noticed that was
kind of cool.
First time I've seen it happen that all at once.
3 seconds left on the play clock. 2 seconds. Now they get the snap off. Fake the handoff to West. Jackson keeps it himself. He's got the first down across the 45. Still on his feet down near the 40-yard line. They'll spot him just on the other side of the 41. And again, a first down coming up for Brighton as Jackson is able to extend this drive. Now under 7 minutes left to play in the ball game. Clock will continue to run now that they've got the chains reset. We'll see how Southwind wants to defend this. They're sticking 8 guys in the box, it looks like. 5 down linemen, 2 linebackers. There's the handoff to West. West bouncing off one defender, spun around by another, and there's, you could see his forward progress clearly stopped about 6 yards ago.
Right, yeah, it's he'll get the line of scrimmage on that one on forward progress, so no gain as he's pushed backwards by the Southwind defense.
Got a little assistance there from his offensive lineman, Enrique Tolliver. Had some sod stuck in his face mask there. 2nd and 10 coming up.
Brighton's doing a good job right now of milking the clock, but still trying to run some plays to get positive yardage.
Here's Jackson on the option, trying to find some space up the middle, and he's going to pick up about 3 yards. That'll be 3rd and 7 now, inside of 6 minutes left to play in the ball game. Now Brighton has taken 3 minutes off of the game clock here in the fourth quarter on this drive alone. So as Chad just mentioned, doing a good job of controlling the tempo here at the end of this game in a 2-possession ball game, but still a lot of game time left to play. Here's the handoff to West, 3rd and 7. He's got a lot of running room across the 35, down near the 30-yard line, and Chad, he's going to be awfully close to the first down marker.
I think he just did get it.
West a little slow to get up there, gets a little help from the Jaguars' Jordan Davis, and Davis gives him a little pat of respect there on the top of his helmet. West, as you mentioned a minute ago, has definitely been the workhorse tonight, and you see now he's going to go back to the grass. I think he might have just had the wind knocked out of him there, which is kind of what it looks like.
Yeah, and
give me a little space here.
The referee waving off the manager with the drinks, and then the coach telling the manager, no, get back out there with that Gatorade. So I don't know what that was about. They'll take a look at West here. Crosstown rival and region rival Munford leading right now 47-20 over Kirby. So it looks like next week, if all goes like it looks right now, Brighton and Munford will meet each with 1 region loss apiece. Southwind having been eliminated, if if things continue and Brighton beats them tonight, they'll be eliminated from winning the region championship. And so that will put it squarely between Brighton, Ridgeway, and Munford.
62-50 is your score with 5:20 left to play here in the fourth quarter. While they attend to Lance West, we'll step aside for a quick break. We're back with more fourth quarter action from Brighton right after this.
Introducing Ritter Home Security. Ritter takes care of protecting what's most important to you, from threats like unwelcome visitors and fire, to making your life easier by putting the control of your home at your fingertips. Use the free app to shut the garage, lock the door, turn off lights, arm the system, and more. You can even turn back the thermostat to help save money on your energy bill. Plus, get a snapshot when your kids get home. It's smart, beautiful, convenient, and ready for your busy life. Ritter Home Security.
Lance West popped up off the field and was able to make his way to the sideline. It looked like he, again, just had the wind knocked out of him. He's over here just walking it off on the sideline. Meanwhile, 1st and 10 for the Cardinals, and a new look in the backfield for Andrew Brooks, who takes the handoff here on 1st and 10. He's going to pick up about 3 yards on his first carry of the ball game. And now 2nd and 7 coming up inside of the 5-minute mark left here in the ball game. Again, Brighton took over possession with 8:31 left to play here in the fourth quarter, and now at 4:49 they have had the ball for nearly 4 minutes and doing a good job of trying to salt this one away. Waiting till about 5 seconds left on the play clock to snap the football. Now 5 seconds left and they're barely in position. Get the snap away, but a flag and whistle will stop the play before it gets started, and it's going to go against the Jaguars. Looks like Southwind might have jumped off sides there.
And they did, so that'll move it forward.
Yep, now 2nd and 2 coming up here for the Cardinals.
So it looks like Ridgeway is facing Bolton tonight. Should they be winning that game, and chances are that they are, next week, going to be a big week. Munford and Brighton will be facing each other, and Ridgeway will be facing this Southwind team, and it will depend on the outcomes of both of those games as to who becomes the Region 8 5A champion.
Yeah, a couple of really good games to keep your eye on next week. 2nd and 2, Jackson on the keeper. Oh, he ran right into one of the Jaguar defenders. He will cross the 20-yard line, pick up a first down. And now the clock will continue to run once they reset the chains. 4:03 to play in the fourth.
And they've been able to milk this clock. They got the ball with about, I think, 8:31 left, yeah, and just really been able to wind it down here.
Yeah, had the ball for almost 5 minutes now. I'll hand it off again to Brooks. Brooks swallowed up in the backfield. Joshua Bean, the first to greet Brooks in the backfield, and he'll assist him to the ground. Now 3:30 left to play here in the ball game.
A little surprising that Southwind leaves Davis in that spy position instead of moving him back to the line when you pretty much know what Brighton's going to do.
They've got that tight end and at blocker, Zachary Dickinson. Hand it off to Brooks. Brooks will fall forward across the 20-yard line. Back near the original line of scrimmage. That'll bring up 3rd and 10. Inside the 3-minute mark now. 3rd and 10 coming up for the Cardinals. Let's see what they do here. Twisdale, the wide receiver here on the near side. Alston still in the game, lined up in the slot. Jackson fakes the handoff, trying to juke a couple of the defensive linemen and not going anywhere on that one. Again, Joshua Bean in there to contain Jackson alongside Christian Farmer. And now that will bring up 4th and 11 with 2:18 remaining in the ball game. And we're going to have a timeout. Southwind going to burn their second here in the second half. They have one timeout remaining. 2:12 left to play in the fourth quarter. Brighton leading Southwind by 12, 62-50 here on the Tubetown Rivalry Series.
Until you've seen how fast it really is, some people's reaction to Ritter's 100 megabit internet might be like, 100 mega, huh? Here's how we describe it. Mega beautiful, mega fast, mega blast, mega party, mega Ritter. There's no end to your online possibilities with up to 100 meg internet speeds. In a word, that means mega fun. If you're not getting your high-speed internet from Ritter, you should. Call 888-336-4466 today. Only from Ritter Communications, right by you.
Andy Manus, Chad Gatlin back here with you in the fourth quarter. 2:15 left to play here in the fourth, and trying to figure out what personnel is coming out on the field for the Cardinals here. They had their what looked like their kicking team out there, but now I see Austin out there. See Jackson making his way back out as well, so it looks like they're going to go for it here on fourth and about 13.
I think they were just trying to throw the Southwind defense off to try to make them switch personnel at the last second.
Got a man lined up in the slot here with nobody on him. Jackson looking to throw now, throwing towards Austin. Austin caught it in the corner of the end zone. Touchdown.
Oh,
unbelievable. Malik Jackson once again to Aaron Alston. Alston goes up and makes a spectacular grab in traffic. Let's take another look. A design bootleg, and Jackson just throws it, and Alston high points it.
How many total touchdowns for Malik Jackson now? That makes 9, Andy. 9 touchdowns.
I'm about to run out of fingers, so I have to take my shoes off here in a minute. Extra point is up. And it's good. 2:07 left to play in the ball game, and the lead extended back out to 20 for the Brighton Cardinals. They now lead this one 70-50.
My late friend James Gandolfini and I got to know a lot of combat vets over the years when we were in Iraq and in Afghanistan. And it guts me to know that 22 of you are taking your own lives every day. Yeah, I play tough guys in the movies. But yous are the real tough guys. And the toughest thing to do sometimes is look for help. I want you to know, reaching out is an act of strength. And our friends at Wounded Warrior Project are here to help. You don't have to go it alone.
2:07 left to play in the fourth quarter. The Cardinals with yet another touchdown pass. Malik Jackson again to Aaron Alston. Jackson's 9th touchdown of the night. That is, you're not mishearing that. That's not a typo. It's not a statistical error. 9 touchdowns on the night for the senior quarterback who did not start the last 2 weeks. Onside kick attempt. Won't travel the 10 yards. Traveled about 8 before it died, and
won't get a flag, strangely enough. Boy, we got to get some clarification on some rules here.
I think so do the referees. First and 10 coming up for the Jaguars, and I don't wonder what's going on over there in that huddle. Hard-fought game tonight for Southwind. They
absolutely
they started off. They started off and things going in their way. One play right out of the gate for 65 yards and the first touchdown of the evening, and they just haven't been able to stop Brighton on defense.
Well, honestly, if somebody tells you before the game starts you're going to put up 50 points, you'll take it because you don't expect to lose a game where you put up 50 points. It's going to be a delay of game here.
It's hard when you give up 69 to the other team. That ball nearly picked off by Alston, but threw it right to Jalen Alexander where only he could get it. But Alston made a pretty valiant effort.
The play clock had expired about 3 seconds before they snapped it.
And the game clock has also stopped at 2:06. Should have continued to run through that play. Now Wilson looking to throw. He'll reel it back in as he's dropped in the backfield. Big time sack from Spencer Cartwright.
Now the Brighton defense wanted to turn it up and get this one over with.
I think so are the fans. They were giving the referees a bit of the what for on that clock mismanagement issue.
Absolutely. That was
not the referee's fault. It's whoever's in the press box, rather. 4 receiver look for Wilson. He takes a 5-step drop, toss to the near side, or far sideline, rather, and it's caught. Now making his way back to the middle of the field. And losing his helmet with 1:11 left. That was Jalen Alexander. Called his name quite a bit tonight. He's had a good night out at wideout. Just coming up on the wrong side of things here in the fourth quarter.
11-yard completion there. The clock does stop on the first down.
Taking a shot to the end zone is Wilson. Got Freeman. Freeman reaches out with one hand, couldn't haul it in. He wants a flag, but he won't get one. If anything, Robert Curry did him a little bit of a favor, pushing him forward there.
And he had a little bit of a step on Curry, too. And honestly, if the ball had been thrown a little shorter, that would have been a good play. And then, I mean, with an onside kick and a quick strike offense, well, I guess you really can't make up all the points, but you could have made it a game.
2nd and 10 coming up. Screen pass to Smith across the 35. Tripped up in the open field by DeRobert Curry. Good open field tackle, and now that will bring up 3rd and about 4 to go. Inside of 40 seconds left in the ball game. Southwind's got 1 timeout left. I don't think they're going to use it. Just going to run a no huddle here and try to finish out this game. Caught here on the near sideline by Freeman inside the 25, and they're going to spot him at about the 24. That will stop the clock with 19.7 seconds left. See Freeman limping around just a little bit there at the bottom of your screen, number 5. I would imagine everybody in tonight's game is a little bit banged up.
Going to be a little bit sore in the morning.
Had 119 points scored in this game.
It may not be done.
1st and 10 coming up. Shot towards the end zone. You could be right. Just overthrown by a touch. Jalen Alexander, the intended target. They've been looking for him all night on that route. So now 2nd and 10 coming up. 13 seconds left. Time for 1, maybe 2 more plays here in the ball game.
Southwind just wants to get it right to maybe try to put up another touchdown in this one. The game's over, but
go out on a high note, especially with a lot riding on next week's game.
They'll get the delay of game penalty here.
Yeah, delay of game will back it up. They didn't want to use that timeout. They may not even be aware that they have it. All right, here we go with 13.5 seconds left. 2nd and 15, and how about that? Southwind just taking a knee and running out the clock. That's a pretty classy move from the Southwind Jaguars. No sense in anybody getting hurt or trying to make something happen here at the end of the ball game. 69-50, the final score between Brighton and Southwind. What an unbelievable game to be a part of, Chad.
Oh, it was just an amazing game here. To start off with, I mean, we had drives that were all ending in touchdowns in the entire first half. We had a couple of turnovers, and that's what actually turned out to be the difference here was the turnovers. Brighton ends up getting a 19-point win, but most of it came off of a couple of turnovers. Southwind had no problem scoring until the very end.
10 touchdowns scored tonight by the Brighton Cardinals. One of them scored by Lance West. The other 9 scored by senior quarterback Malik Jackson. Unbelievable night for him. Without a doubt, our player of the game. He had 5 rushing touchdowns on the night, and then throw in 4 passing touchdowns as well. Without a doubt, he is our player of the game. Such a fun game to be a part of, and what a game from him after not starting for the last 2 weeks.
Just a great game out of Jackson. I mean, he was on fire. Like you said, 9 touchdowns, it's almost inconceivable. And now Brighton moves on. They play Munford next week. They need a win next week and a loss by Ridgeway. And then they can get – so they're rooting for Southwind next week, and then they become region champs.
So a lot to keep your eye on as far as next week's game go. Who will be the Region 8 champs? Next week, Tubetown is back on the air once again. Valley View and Nettleton. We are back in Arkansas, and we hope to have you guys back with us on Tubetown. Whether you're watching us on YouTube or on our Facebook page, we certainly appreciate you guys tuning in, and make sure you hop over. If you're not watching on Facebook, hop over to our Facebook page, facebook.com/TubetownOnline. Please like our page, subscribe to us, and just, let us know how we're doing. We'd certainly love feedback from you guys. But again, a fun game to be a part of. Thanks to all of our camera crew and our producers. And for Chad Gatlin, I'm Andy Maness saying so long from Brighton. Again, the final score here on the Tubetown Rivalry Series, Brighton 69, Southwind 50. Have a great night, everyone.